He's clipped the post. He's looking formidable. Then substitution. His game might be over, but yours isn't. With Betfair's Safe Sub, your bet simply rolls onto the player coming on. Playing a different league with Betfair.
Valid on selected leagues and markets only. Applies to singles, multiples and bet builder bets on qualified player outcome selections. Does not apply to odds boost. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus gambleware.org.
McDonald's cards are here. 24 cards to find and free food in every pack. Enter cards in the McDonald's app and complete sets with over £4 million in cash prizes to be won. McDonald's cards. 18 plus UK only with selected meals subject to availability. Ends 27th of April. App may be required. See mcdrules.co.uk.
Kick off live on Talk Sport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
Initiate adrenaline pumps. Kick off live on Talk Sport.
Mid left wing position. Great ball in, and Welbeck is there to turn it home again.
I think first of all it's important to understand why we are in this form. It's about doing the basic things right and keeping the standards high in every training session.
I went down to Brighton in midweek. The confidence around the place, not arrogance but confidence, the structure they've got behind it. They are such a well-run club.
Spurs 2, Brighton 2.
We go with a big confidence into this game and we want to enjoy it. We want to start this game with a lot of intensity, with a lot of energy to immediately create a really good atmosphere.
They are in form, Brighton, as they take on Chelsea here tonight. Kicks off in just over 10 minutes' time. They've won 5 of the last 7. Winning they go 6. Winning they go above Chelsea. We've got a goal already in the Championship at Southampton. Ian Abrams.
Southampton 0, Bristol City 1. Ball played in from the left-hand side. I think just about a feather touch from Sam Bell to beat Daniel Peretz into the corner of the net. It was the second time Bristol City had come forward. It was Twine's ball in, and Bell does get the touch beyond Peretz, who'd earlier made a brilliant save to deny Bertskog one-on-one. But Bristol City are ahead. In fact, it might actually be a Ryan Manning own goal, having seen a replay of it. We'll clear that up for you later. What it is Southampton 0, Bristol City 1.
Yeah, Bristol City took the lead against Norwich at the weekend, still lost 4-2 at home elsewhere. Swansea have gone 1 up at QPR Ronaldo after 2 minutes. And there's one game in the National League. Southend are in the playoffs. All the playoff places are sorted. Lead at Hartlepool by a 1-0. Stuart Pearce, we were watching the Chelsea warm-up. They were definitely warming up in a 3 at the back, weren't they?
They definitely were. Fofana on the right-hand side, Chalobah in the middle and Hato on the left-hand side. So there's no doubt a change of formation and hopefully for Chelsea a change of fortune.
Wesley Fofana, one of those, as you say. He's apologised for reacting badly after being subbed off on Saturday. What do you make of that situation? Did he have to apologise? What's the score there?
For me, yes, he does. I think conducting yourself in the right and proper manner as a professional footballer. His manager, more importantly, his manager's under the pump from all sections of the media and under pressure. He does not need one of his players coming off and disrespecting him and his coaching staff. That doesn't help anyone at Chelsea Football Club, I can assure you.
When you were managing, did anybody disrespect you when they got subbed off by you?
There was queues of players coming off that pitch disrespecting me. I remember one of my first managerial jobs at Nottingham Forest, a good friend of mine was playing. We were at Derby away, drawing the game at the baseball ground, and I took Ian Wonoff. And as he walked over, he walked straight past me down the tunnel and looked over at me and went, "That's another," and it rhymes with that financial establishment in the singular vernacular. Decision that you've made, Pearce. And off he went. And to be fair, I've got to say, I did laugh. It was funny.
I think the word you're looking for is terrible. Actually, talking of being disrespected, I want your interpretation of something that the Chelsea co-owner Vedad Eghbali said about Liam Rosenior this week. He said it's a results business, but we think he can be successful long term. Now, Danny Murphy picked up on this last night and said, all he said is we think. It's not exactly backing for the manager. He should be more supportive of his manager, more convinced by his manager. Does that sound a bit weak to you?
In the profession we're in at the moment, words are very, very cheap. We all know that if you don't string enough results together and the stadium get angsty with the owners, the manager goes. That's the end of it. I hope Rossini does a good job and stays in post. I really do. Because the more English managers we have in the Premier League, the better. But at this moment in time, if you're an owner of Chelsea Football Club, you must be thinking to yourself, what direction are we going in? I saw something as well the other day. I think it was in the papers yesterday or whatever about players out of contract. And sometimes if you're having a baddish run, it's quite good to have players out of contract in the summer, freshen it up a little bit. Chelsea, I don't think have got any because of this long-term contractual scenario. And I'm not sure that's always a good place to be as a football club. If you sat there on a 7-year contract as a player, I think you get on easy street a little bit this day and age.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's questions can be asked about how Chelsea are run, but with Brighton, everybody agrees they're a very well-run football club. And yes, sometimes the results are a little bit streaky, and still this season it could go one way or the other. They could finish bottom half, they could finish in a European position, but generally speaking, they are well-run, and Hertzler has done, on reflection, a good job.
Yeah, listen, he's new to the Premier League-ish. He's done a pretty good job. We'd have been asking the same questions maybe 7 weeks ago before they've gone on this little mini run, but you've got to wait till the season sees itself out to know exactly where you finish, because things change very, very quickly, and that mid-band in the league is chopping and changing from week to week.
And one player I want to focus on just before the teams come out here at the Amex, which is very noisy by the way and well populated, but Jack Hinchelwood, who can play different positions for Brighton and has played different positions for Brighton. England under 21. Thomas Tuchel, we know, likes him. He was close to being in that big England squad recently but didn't quite make it. He's got to be a contender for Young Player of the Year, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he certainly will be. I think he gets the Brighton ethos here, handles the ball extremely well, and listen, he's a real plus for Brighton Football Club, I think. And as you say, I've been here when he's played right back on occasion. He's played in different positions and handles that brilliantly.
My understanding is he would rather play at number 10, but is one of those players happy to do a job for the team. He'll play wherever he's asked.
In all honesty, Aid, I always saw myself as a number 10, but managers just shoved me at the back and said, look, go and play at left back.
You see, you got upset the other week when I said you were wasted at left back.
I didn't stay there for long. Only on the team sheet I was left back.
That's true. You were underlapping centre forward, weren't you? It was incredible at times. That little question asked earlier, Fabian Hertzler never lost to an English manager. 9 times he's faced an English opponent in the dugout. 7 wins, 2 draws. Have we got the 5 managers? Does anybody know?
It's cheating if I get involved in this. Go on.
Carrick, 1.
No.
Deitch?
Yes.
Just trying to think of the English managers in the league, and they're pretty minimal.
Help him out.
He's been around for a couple of years.
He used to manage here, one of them. He used to manage both these clubs.
Potter.
Yeah.
Oh.
One's about to get relegated.
Oh. Rob Edwards.
Yes. No.
Scott
Parker. Gary O'Neill. Eddie Howe. You nearly did well. Well done to you. Rotherham 0, Luton 1. Casey Palmer scored again for Luton in League One. Plymouth are 1 up at Bradford. Brendan Wiredu has got the goal, and there's a goal at Coventry. Dave Rowe.
Coventry 1, Portsmouth 0. They need a win here to secure the title, and Haji Wright has got it for the home side. Corner from the right hand side by Jack Rodoni. Poor goalkeeping by Schmidt. He just didn't take control in the 6-yard box, and Wright, the deft header, gets the goal. Coventry 1, Portsmouth 0.
Listening to Kick-Off live on TalkSport with Ladbrokes, 18+, gambleaware.org. Burnley, Man City on TalkSport tomorrow night. City go top with a win, but there's no Rodri. Bournemouth Leeds on TalkSport 2. If Leeds win, they go level on points with Newcastle. We love midweek Premier League football on TalkSport, and tonight is so big in terms of European ambitions for Brighton and Chelsea. Let's get it on with your commentary team on TalkSport. Former England captain Stuart Pearce alongside Sam Matface.
Good evening, everyone. It is the Amex Stadium in Sussex, a pivotal Tuesday night that could entirely redefine the race for European football. It would be the ultimate irony if Brighton finished higher in the table than Chelsea. The Blues from West London have raided Brighton for £262 million worth of talent over the past few years, taking their brightest stars to the King's Road. Yet it is the Seagulls whose season appears to be taking off at just the right time, and Chelsea who are flapping. A win for Fabian Herzl's side will see them leapfrog Chelsea into 6th place, and it was just 2 months ago that Brighton were 13 points behind the Blues. Tonight, they are breathing down their necks. For Chelsea, it is full-blown crisis mode. Liam Rosenior, the owners and the players are feeling the wrath of the fans. Not really a surprise. They are 7 points off the Champions League places, and the last time that Rosenior's team scored against a top-flight side, Arsenal were romping the Premier League, Middlesbrough were in the automatic promotion places, and Sir Keir Starmer hadn't been told about Peter Mandelson's red flags. Here are the two teams, starting with Brighton in blue and white striped jerseys, blue shorts and blue socks. They've got Verbruggen in goal, Vifa at right back, Dunk, Van Hecker and Kadioglu. Then Gross and Believer are the two in midfield, with Minte, Hinshelwood and Matoma behind Ruter in attack. Sanchez is the former Brighton goalkeeper, but now the Chelsea goalkeeper. The rest of the team are in their retro black kit with white trim and white collar. They've got Fofana, Chalobah and Hato the back three, Gusto and Cucurella the wing backs, Lavia and Caicedo in midfield, with Fernandes and Neto behind Delap in attack. Interesting, isn't it, that Caicedo was given the captain's armband on Saturday, but today Enzo Fernandez, who was restored to the lineup at Manchester United at the weekend, or against Manchester United at the weekend, is now given it back again. Things changed quickly with Chelsea. Referee tonight is Craig Pawson. Took charge of this fixture 2.5 years ago. He sent off Conor Gallagher. He's also awarded 4 penalties in the last 5 games. Brighton attacking the goal away to our right, Chelsea away to our left. There's EFL action now on TalkSport 2 with Cov and Lincoln targeting titles, and Leicester potentially being relegated tonight. Tomorrow, Manchester City will go top of the table if they win at Burnley. The only place to hear that is on TalkSport. The only place to hear this is on TalkSport. You know where it's at. TalkSport and the Premier League, the gift that keeps on giving. Stuart Pearce is here with me. I don't know how he made it through vetting, but how did Chelsea make it through tonight? And how did they find a goal?
Well, that is the key. How do they find a goal? The line has got to be led tonight, for me, extremely well by Delap. No Palmer, no João Pedro, and if you were going to take 2 players out the Chelsea ranks, if you were a manager of Brighton, I think those would be top of your list, Sam.
Ball is away to our left-hand side. It's at the feet of Verbruggen, who's in bright steward orange. He fires the ball to the left, and Kadioglu chips it forward to Ruter, who heads it on immediately to Hinshelwood, whose late arrival with a run, gets to the edge of the box, goes down under pressure from Fofana. Referee plays the advantage. Ruter into the centre, stabbed away by Chalobah, who's in the middle of the back three, and then it's back in from Jorginho Ruter and cleared out on the far side by Wesley Fofana. An immediate front-footed start from Brighton and Hove Albion.
I'm just looking at Fernandes, and I'm not sure whether it's just the start of the game, but he was almost playing up alongside Delap and still is now, which I find quite surprising, because the game at the weekend he was very, very deep, picking things up and knitting and playing those passes through the lines.
It's interesting because it's similar to the way they lined up in the Cup semi-final against Arsenal, the League Cup semi-final against Arsenal. Ball into the box, headed away by Chalobah once again. And it goes back towards Belieber, and then Vifa, who has started the last 7 league games at right back before tonight, and Brighton have won 5 of them. Funnels the ball back to his goalkeeper Verbruggen. Brighton are the Premier League's most informed side outside of Manchester City. They've taken 16 points from their last 21 available. Chelsea, meanwhile, have taken just 5 points from their last 24 available. That is some form flip. Belieber, just short of the centre circle, fires the ball into Jack Hinshelwood, who has had a really good 2025-26. Infield to Vifa, and then back out wide towards the right-hand side, picked up by Pascal Gross, the captain, who clips it high. Mitoma arriving far post, he hits it towards the near post, and he smashes it over the top, Sanchez, with a brilliant save. Chelsea lopsided and completely missed the approach of the Japanese international, coming in down that left-hand side, connecting with the cross, and Robert Sanchez, on his return to Brighton, came out with a big save. He had to.
Yeah, Gusto was drawn in that right wing-back position. He had to come in and cover a midfield run. But I tell you what, Mitoma, he's hit it brilliantly. I thought, well, if you take this first time, the ball could go anywhere. And the goalie's made a wonderful stop.
Corner on the far side. Ball collected by Gross. He's going to send it in towards the near post. Once again, it's not a great delivery, but it's flicked back towards Kadioglu, who takes a deflection off Fofana. And it's into the net, and Brighton lead. Just 3 minutes on the clock, Brighton in front. Chelsea didn't defend the corner kick at all well. It was flicked at the near post, back into the danger zone. And when it was fired in by Kadioglu, it took a little nick off Fofana and went beyond the goalkeeper. It's the first goal that he's scored for Brighton since December 2024. And it's more misery for Chelsea. It's Brighton 1, Chelsea 0.
I've got to say, Sam, it was a really poor corner. And Fofana's just put a tepid header on it by the looks of it. Oh,
Harto, I think.
Harto, it was Harto, you're right. He's ended up almost as though, I don't want to wear this. This might hurt a little bit. And it was a tepid header that spun off his head. And a brilliant finish.
Kadioglu with his first goal for Brighton in a year and a half, and Chelsea's problems continue, and there's been a goal at the King Power, and I wonder if Leicester's problems are continuing. Jeff Peters.
They are. It's Leicester 0, Hull 1. Begovic with the mistake, with a poor kick out. Liam Miller, real calmness to finish his third goal of the season. It sums up the shambles here. Leicester 0, Hull 1.
They will be relegated if they lose tonight. In fact, unless they win tonight, they will be relegated. And that game continues over on TalkSport 2 right now. Let's head off to the Bet365. Millwall looking for promotion in front of Adam Bridge.
Stoke 0, Millwall 1. Kamil Negli with his 5th championship goal of the season. Lovely finish with his left foot from about 12 yards out. It's come against the run of play, but Millwall get themselves in front and they're heading into those automatic promotion places. Stoke 0, Millwall 1.
If it stays like this, Millwall will be second by the end of the night. Behind Coventry, they'll have 79 points. Here on the right-hand side is Minte, getting to the edge of the area, crosses the ball into the boxes, away by Caicedo as Brighton continue their front-footed start. They lead by a goal to nil. The goal coming after 3 minutes from Ferdi Kadioglu. Still on the front foot with Baliba into the centre of midfield, guides it back towards the left-hand side, and then via Boscagli it goes out to Mitoma, who tries to trick his way past Gusto, goes on the outside, tries to get the cross in, Gusto slides in, it goes out off the Japanese and away for a goal kick, so we'll go off to the Hawthorns and TalkSport's Mikey Burrows.
West Brom 1, Watford 0. A brilliant move down the right hand side, a low cross in, and Isaac Price, the left winger, cutting in from that search line, sweeps it home underneath the goalkeeper. We've played 21 minutes. West Brom 1, Watford 0.
Lincoln have missed a penalty as they search for the title against Doncaster Rovers in League One. That result, if it stays like that with West Brom leading, then they will go above Portsmouth up into 18th position in the Championship. By the end of the night, there'll probably only be 2 games left. Watford 1, West Brom 1, Watford 0, and Stevenage have just gone ahead against Barnsley. That's the latest scores in the EFL. Remember, all the action is on TalkSport 2. Brighton 1, Chelsea 0 here at the Amex Stadium. And Chelsea's attack has completely collapsed. They've lost 4 consecutive Premier League games without scoring, something they haven't done since February-March 1998. And Liam Rosenior, once a coach here, has got a real problem to solve here, because Stuart Pearce, in the opening 6 minutes of tonight's match, they haven't got out of their own half.
No, they certainly haven't. And I mean, I'm looking at defending of that corner that's led to the goal, and unless that ball's moved viciously, you're thinking he doesn't really want to head it. Looking at it, it was awful, it really was. And Brighton have come out, they've grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck, they look supremely confident and just put Chelsea on the back foot.
Here they come again, with Mitoma picking the ball up 5 yards inside Chelsea territory. Out wide it goes towards the left, and
Konioglu gets it back to Boscali. Boscali up to Ruter tries to lay it off to the Japanese international. He weaves away from Neto. Neto didn't fancy it. The ball comes back into centre field. Caicedo gets it away. Fernandes isn't going to get there. Jean-Paul Van Hecke manages to kick it clear, and it goes out over on the far side. Green has scored for Grimsby. They lead away at Cambridge by a 1-0. Cambridge trying desperately to cement a place in the top 3 tonight, but they're dropping points as it stands. Grimsby trying to get into the playoff places. They will go into the playoff places if that result stands. They lead by a 1-0. Loads happening in the EFL tonight. So big, and we've got it all covered here on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. I mean, at the moment, Chelsea just look a little bit stunned, don't they?
Well, there's no doubt about that. They've been starved of the ball, starved of territory, and very, very short of confidence. Just looking at their lineup as well, Neto is sort of playing his normal role, isn't he, on the right-hand side, with a 5 sort of behind him, and they're almost leaving Cucurella to run this left-hand side all on his own, and he'll get outnumbered comfortably if he's not careful.
That is exactly how they did it in the game at Arsenal. They were completely lopsided over to the right-hand side. They left Cucurella to do almost 2 jobs on this near side, and Fernandes would shuttle across every now and again, but his main job was to be the number 10 and the foil for Delap, who hasn't touched the ball, I don't think, yet. He might get it here. It's thrown down into the right wing position where he takes it on, tries to beat up Boscali, gets away from him this time, and then runs into Kadioglu, leaves something on him, gives away a free kick, and that's the problem really, isn't it, if you're Liam Delap? Too busy fighting, not enough now really to handle those moments, because he'd won a corner kick, he'd done well, he'd won a corner kick down that left hand side, and then he just had to leave that little bit on Kadioglu.
Yeah, I think he was a little bit unfortunate. Well, he's lifted his foot off the floor. I'm not overly sure. I think he's well, geez, oh, you're right, he'd left his something on him, and there was absolutely no need for it. I don't know why he's done that, to be honest with you. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, and you look at the replay and he's just raked him down his Achilles.
It's a really frustrating thing to do when you've done the hard work. Ball clipped across the face of his own goal by Boscali towards Van Hecke. Vifa comes across, but he's challenged by Cucurella, another former Brighton player. There's not many people that work at Chelsea that haven't been at Brighton before, to be fair. Ball is back to Van Hecke, and then it's all the way to the left-hand side. Brighton had won 5 of their previous 6 matches before Saturday's game at Tottenham, which they drew 2-2. They've also beaten Liverpool 2-1 at the Amex recently, restricted Arsenal to just 2 shots on target. The reverse fixture at Stamford Bridge earlier in the season ended 3-1 to Brighton. And you'll remember actually that Chelsea played OK that day until Trevor Chalobah was sent off, one of 7 sending-offs this season that Chelsea have had to contend with. Well, we've played 10 minutes, and this is TalkSport.
Just looking at this access on the right for Brighton. You know, they've got Vifa over here and Minte, midfield player, coming to supplement it, and all of a sudden it looks quite sparse for Chelsea, doesn't it, on this side? They're drawing Fernandes out on the press, and then you would think you need to keep foraging down this right-hand side, Brighton.
Well, it's 1-0 to Brighton, who scored the opener inside the first 3 minutes of the game, and by the way, they'd already had a chance through Mitoma, which was saved by Robert Sanchez, so it hadn't been without warning. This is Baliba out to the left hand side, where just on the cusp of the halfway line, the ball is with Boscali, finds Kadioglu, the ball repelled by Chelsea, but it bounced kindly for Mitoma. He finds Ruter, who rifles a shot goalwards. It's blocked by Fofana on the edge of the area. Neto tries to emerge, but he's being chased by blue and white seagulls from all angles. They turn the ball over. It was a little bit late, that, from Jorginho Ruter, according to Craig Pawson, and it's going to be a free kick in the right fullback area for Chelsea, who trail by a 1-0.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he made that challenge. Neto's running up the pitch. He's got 2 or 3 Brighton players tracking him down. He's got no forward pass whatsoever. And you give a foul away, lets Chelsea off the hook.
So in the Premier League, it's Brighton 1, Chelsea 0. In the Championship, Coventry 1, Portsmouth 0. Leicester 0, Hull 1. Norwich 0, Derby 0. Oxford 0, Wrexham 0. QPR 0, Swansea 1. Southampton 0, Bristol City 1. Stoke 0, Millwall 1. And West Brom 1, Watford 0. In League One tonight, Plymouth lead Bradford away from home. That's a big game in the playoff area. Doncaster 0, Lincoln 0, but Lincoln have missed a penalty, and Luton lead Rotherham by a goal to 0. Stevenage 1, Barnsley 0, and Stockport 0, Mansfield 0. Stockport really need to win tonight. Ball with Chelsea inside opposition territory. Caicedo towards the left and Harto back to Chalobah and out towards the far side. It's a poor ball by Chalobah. In fact, it's not even a poor ball. That's too high a bar to judge it from. It was a dreadful ball out on the far side under no pressure, and it goes out for a throw into Brighton. Brighton 1, Chelsea 0. TalkSport with Sky Sports. And don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly, like Brighton versus Chelsea live right now. Search Now Sports.
I tell you what, Chelsea getting back in this game will hinge on how well or badly Delap holds the ball up, because he's quite isolated. They're being pegged back, Chelsea, so the only out ball as such is probably Delap. If he loses the ball cheaply, they'll be in big trouble tonight.
Grimsby lead Cambridge in League 2 by a goal to 0, and it's Cheltenham 0, Tranmere 0. Grimsby hoping to make the playoffs. You're up to date on TalkSport. And Lavia starting for Chelsea tonight, plays the ball back to Robert Sanchez. Across it goes to Chalobah, then out wider towards Harto, who clips it into the night sky, looking for Fernandes. Van Hecke gets there first, but Enzo Fernandez scurries into the middle and nudges it back to Lavia. They work it wide out towards the Chelsea right, and they come on the attack with the Portuguese winger Neto. He runs up Kadioglu and then falls over. He literally fell over the ball, and Kadioglu has then gone up to him, being engaged by Gusto, and then robbed him of possession, and he's played passes with Jorginho Ruter, slalomed up the pitch, got into the Chelsea half. Hinshelwood's tucked it round the corner. Kadioglu's gone away. Chelsea are falling all over the place, defending like a team that really have zero confidence. Still Brighton have it, and the ball is with Believer out towards the right hand side. It's a comedy of errors from Chelsea, whose players are falling over, limply tackling. Gross into the centre now. Van Hecke! Another push over the top by Robert Sanchez. The big central defender just came charging through the gap, and he arrived late after Chelsea fiddled around and diddled and dawdled, and in the end succumbed to yet another shot on target for Brighton, who are so far on top. Chelsea feel like they could get crushed here.
Sam, what can go wrong for Chelsea is going wrong, isn't it? You know, they're tripping over the ball, and the diverse side of that is Brighton. Whatever they do seems to go right at present. It's incredible.
Caicedo's got a problem with his ankle here, just rubbing that as the corner is taken short. Gross to Minte, and then to the edge of the area. Too much space for Kadioglu again, who chips the ball towards Jorginho Ruter. He lolls it up underneath the goalkeeper, who comes out, grabs it. There might have been an offside flag there, or a push inside the box, and it's bowled out by Sanchez up towards Caicedo, another former player for Brighton. I mean, it is a little bit ridiculous when you think about it, the amount of people that have gone from Brighton to Chelsea. Goal at Southampton. Let's get there now. And down at St Mary's for us this evening is TalkSport's Ian Abrahams.
Southampton 1, Bristol City 1. Ryan Manning's free kick from the left-hand side, whipped viciously across goal. 2 yards out, Kyle Larin poked home. Southampton 1, Bristol City 1.
If it stays like that, they'll go within 3 points of Millwall, who at the moment are second. On the right-hand side, Minte has it for Brighton, cuts in on his left foot. Harto gets his body in between man and ball, but they pinch it back again. It comes back to Ruter, who tries to curl it towards the far post, but he over-opened up his body, and that meant it went well wide of the target. It was never going to come back, but Chelsea gave the ball away after winning it inside their own penalty area. The first bit of defending seemed to have nullified the Brighton attack, and then they gave it straight back again.
Sam, we're looking at a 3 or 4 nil result here in Brighton's favour on what we're seeing on the run of play.
I mean, as I said about 2 minutes ago, Chelsea could get well crushed here tonight, couldn't they?
Well, they are at the moment. It's just the goals tally is certainly not on the run of play at present, fortunately for Chelsea.
Weaver gets the ball back to Verbruggen. Verbruggen across to the edge of the area where Pascali is waiting for it. It's 1-0, just 1-0 to Brighton. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like Chelsea are playing a team from a higher league at the moment, and Brighton are that team. Chests puffed out, confidence about them, bit of swagger. They fancy their chances. They sense blood.
Yeah, I'm not getting Fernandes playing in this advanced position. Most of his work's being done just shutting Brighton defenders down, running to and fro and not getting a touch of the ball. Chelsea needed him on the ball more than any other player, I believe.
Van Hecke has deep inside his own half. The clock is ticking. Chelsea have not scored a Premier League goal now in the best part of 6 hours and 43 minutes, and they could concede another one here with a long ball which is released. Jack Hinshelwood over on the left hand side. On the overlap goes Matoma, but he comes infield instead. Routier links the play, finds Pascal Gross. He threatens to shoot, doesn't, goes wide to the right, where it's picked up by Minte, who clips the ball to Matoma. Again, he's free, far post, falls for Hinshelwood, but eventually Chelsea react, and Fofana takes the ball wide and then clears upfield, but it's won by Baleba. Kept in brilliantly over on the far side. No, apparently it wasn't. The assistant saw it and said that Kadioglu had let it go out of play. It's 1-0 to Brighton.
Well, at this moment in time, I'm not sure what to tell the listeners. Either brilliant...
Given away by Sanchez in front of his own goalkeeper. Tapped towards goal by Hinshelwood, cleared off the line by Chalobah. Chalobah saves his goalkeeper, spares his blushes. A terrible error by Sanchez, not for the first time. He gave it straight to Baleba. Baleba centred it into Hinshelwood, whose shot was tame and it was stopped on the line by Trevor Chalobah.
Well, either Brighton are brilliant or Chelsea are awful, or a combination of both, but my goodness, that should have been 2-0.
Not quite sure how it isn't, really. 18 gone. This is TalkSport. Norwich take the lead against Derby, who have playoff ambitions. But not now, not if it stays like that. They certainly would like to get higher up in the table, for sure. There's still some way out of it, and if the results stand as they are at the moment, with Hull winning at the moment, that means that it'll be very, very difficult for them to realise those ambitions. Here is Fofana clipping the ball down the right hand side, down towards Neto. He looks as if he might have been offside there, Neto, but Kadioglu is trying to keep him at bay. He wriggles away from him, finds Lavia up towards the edge of the area, plays the ball out wide right. Gusto joins the attack for Chelsea in black and attacking the goal away to our left. Chalobah takes over, then drops the ball into the path of Moises Caicedo. He then takes it back to Wesley Fofana, and Chelsea enjoying their first spell of possession of the game inside opposition territory. The cross from the right is tame. It goes through the 6-yard box, but gobbled up easily by goalkeeper Verbruggen. But at the other end, the goalkeeper Robert Sanchez almost caused Chelsea a serious issue. Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, as I say, that's the first time I think Chelsea in anger have got the ball into the penalty box, and well, Sanchez, we see it quite regularly, don't we? So, you know, we're not surprised by it, but you don't need to give Brighton any encouragement. They have been magnificent at this moment in time.
And they come forward again, knitting passes up the field to drag them into the penalty area. It's flicked across the face of goal, and Sanchez pushed the ball into the air. Cucurella in the left full-back position manages to clear it. And it didn't seem to be too troubling, that cross, actually. I wondered whether or not he could have caught that or punched it.
Well, or left it even. It had that much violence on it. It seemed to be going straight out the box and out the other side.
Headed down and away by Harto, but Chalobah ends up... Oh, they've won the ball again on the right-hand side, and it's picked up by Gross. Gross into the centre, and it's over the head of Matoma this time and goes out of play. I mean, they're first to everything, they're second to everything, and quite often they're third to everything as well at the moment, Brighton.
It's very difficult to portray how much seniority Brighton have got in this game. Chelsea are just awful. They put probably their best technician of the ball in Fernandes so far up the pitch. The play is nowhere near it, so basically you just will put a defender in his position to run around and attempt to affect the back line of Brighton. But at the moment he's not got a sniff of the ball. They give the ball away cheaply in certain areas. I'm not sure the formation's helpful to them. And Chelsea are really just... The only plus they've got, Sam, is they're only losing 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, the way to explain it is it's men against boys. Totally. Here is Delap up to Caicedo. Clips the ball forward. It's a poor ball, which is headed away by Kadioglu. One back after a heavy touch from Gusto by Baleba. And they get it again. Brighton, they come forward again. They look to try and pierce that Chelsea defence again. Chelsea really struggling to find their rhythm in the game. The formation doesn't seem to be working. They don't look confident. they look a little bit confused about what each other are supposed to do. I mean, I'm looking at Chalobah now. Fofana's just told him to keep an eye on Ruter. He's then followed Jack Hinshelwood right up into the Brighton half, and that's taken Chelsea's best defender miles out of the game. Ruter has then skipped away from Fofana, swished the ball out towards the right-hand side easily, picked up by Minte now. He gets into the penalty area, he gets onto his left foot, it takes a deflection on the way through, it's fended away by Fofana unconvincingly, and it's out for a corner.
I'll tell you who's doing well and causing Chelsea a problem, Vifa, who's making runs from right back directly into the box and beyond that, sometimes into the inside left position and getting on the ball, and no one's tracking him. As I say, he's got carte blanche on this side. He's not got too many defensive responsibilities. There's nobody in the area that he's patrolling defensively.
Third corner of the night, 62% possession, an XG of 1.3, 6 shots, 4 on target. Chelsea's totals on all of those metrics, by the way, 0, 0, 0, 0. Here is the corner over on the far side. 22 gone. This is Talk Sport. Van Hecker's moved towards the far side. The ball's right underneath the goalkeeper. This time he catches it simply, and Sanchez will bring it out for Chelsea. And that probably goes down as a bit of a waste for Brighton, that corner kick.
Well, to be fair, the first one was a waste because it was that poor, but Hato managed to sort of get out of the way. I think the ball hitting him on the head seemed to worry him a little bit.
Chelsea conspire to give it away inside their own half again. Minte trying to slide it forward. Kadioglu was on this side causing issues. The ball is broken to Gusto though. He's tried to fend it forward to Delap. Goalkeeper's come out. Delap didn't notice that, and then he's tried to play it off Van Hecker and win Chelsea's first corner of the game.
Well, as I say, Verbruggen has come off his line thinking he could get there first, and if Delap would have seen him and just helped it on first time, the goalie's in no man's land.
That's what I was expecting him to do, to be honest.
It looked as he was, didn't he? From the movement of his body.
Chelsea have lost to Newcastle, Everton and both Manchester clubs during a run of not scoring, which seems to be dating back further and further every minute. And they have a corner here.
Delap's just launched his marker straight on the floor. Ridiculous.
Kanioglu was the man who was closest to him. And the referee just having a quick word with Liam Delap here before this corner comes in over on the far side. And Pedro Neto is going to take it. I was a little bit critical of his delivery from set pieces on Saturday night, and it does look as if he is going to swing this into the box rather than go short this time. Left-footed, it's arced in towards the near post, headed away by Baleba, headed down by Caicedo on the edge of the box right side, back in for another cross from Neto, which is steered clear by Baleba, and then Chelsea get it back and put a bit of pressure on again down the right-hand side without really causing too much of an issue for that Brighton defence. 1-0 to Chelsea. Cucurella getting relentlessly booed every time it goes back to a Chelsea player that's formerly of Brighton, and there's so many of those. They seem to be booing quite a lot. In League 2, Cheltenham lead Tranmere by a 0-0. Miller with a goal just moments ago. And we've got a goal at Oxford, and it looks as if Wrexham have taken the lead. Can we go to Lawrence Mora?
Can indeed. It's Oxford 0, Wrexham 1. Josh Windass has got it, right-footed, edge of the area. He's just shuffled one way and then hit it low and hard into the corner. Literally nothing's happened for 40 minutes, but it's now Oxford 0, Wrexham 1.
And that's bad news for Oxford in terms of going down into League 1, but it's good news as far as the playoffs are concerned for Wrexham. Cambridge 1, Grimsby 1. Cambridge trying to hold on to an automatic place at the top of League 2. And it's good news for Wrexham away and Oxford in the Championship. I'll run down the scores for you in just a second, but Brighton just ballooning the ball out on this near touchline. It's remaining Brighton 1, Chelsea 0. Just a quick word on Brighton here. If you are Fabian Herzler, you're thinking to yourself, surely, guys, we've got to kill this off now. We've got a great opportunity to go above Chelsea in the table. We've got to take advantage of this absolutely sloppy, slapdash, lacklustre performance.
Exactly that. Listen, I've not seen a team play as well as this for this period of time anywhere in the Premier League this season. I really haven't. They've absolutely dominated this game. And as a manager, you're always thinking to yourself, we've got to put this game to bed in this first half because we've been so good. Chelsea cannot be this bad, and we can't be this good again in the second half, can we?
Harto trying to move from midfield, loses the ball to Baleba. It's picked up by Matoma, who weaves past Caicedo, feeds Minte, he's in the area. He tried to poke it into the path of Pascal Gross, who'd made a run from deep. Didn't quite manage to find the angle for it. It was cleared away by Caicedo, so we'll go off to West Brom. Mikey Burrows.
West Brom 2, Watford 0, turning into a very good couple of days for striker Daryl DK. Won at Preston at the weekend in a massive win. Starting tonight, a free kick from the right-hand side, whipped in. He's only 4 yards out. Simple header in at the near post. We played 42 minutes. West Brom 2, Watford 0.
So in the Championship tonight, over on TalkSport 2, we've got a live game for you. Leicester City in action against Hull. Hull leading by a goal to nil as the referee has to sort out a little bit of afters here between Gross and Caicedo. Elsewhere, Coventry 1, Portsmouth 0. Coventry trying to win the title tonight. Leicester 0, Hull 1. Hull will be 6 in the Championship. If it continues like that, they'll have a 2-point gap to Wrexham, who are also leading tonight away at Oxford, who are struggling to stay in the division. They're third from bottom right now. Norwich 1, Derby 0. That's going to really hamper Derby's hopes of any promotion playoff dreams. QPR 0, Swansea 1. Southampton 1, Bristol City 1. Southampton trying to edge up to the automatic promotion places, but they were pegged back early. They've got an equaliser there. And Millwall, who are currently second, lead at Stoke by a goal to nil. And West Brom 2-0 up against Watford. In League One, Lincoln will win the title if they get a point tonight. They lead by a goal to nil. They earlier missed a penalty. Since I've been running down those scores, absolutely nothing has happened apart from a little bit of booing and a bit of shoving and pushing down in front of us. Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, Fernandez went down claiming it was a foul, and
did someone blow on him?
It's got a little bit niggly, the game, but it's got niggly because Brighton are really taking the mickey with their football, and they're sort of running over the top of Chelsea, to be quite honest with you. So from a physical aspect, they're out fighting them, and from a footballing aspect, they're absolutely dominating.
If you're Brighton, you're absolutely gutted. It's only 1-0.
Yeah, I think on the run of play, 3-0 would be a fair result at this moment in time.
Chelsea is stuck in it just about, and they have the ball in the right fullback position with Gusto throwing it up to the chest of Delap. In it goes to Boscagli though, and Brighton have it back again. Minte, it's a lovely section of passing through towards Vifa, who'd come up on the right hand side and caused problems again with his excellent engine that he's got to get up the pitch and support the attack, but he couldn't quite get on the end of that pass this time. Cucurella was there, and it's cleared away, and it's back with Chelsea once more. 2-0 to Luton away at Rotherham. Casey Palmer with both the goals tonight for Luton Town, and Luton 8th position. Don't look like they're going to get anywhere near the playoffs, especially with Stevenage hoping to sneak in there tonight. Here is Harto back to the halfway line, and then all the way back to the edge of the D, and then a little bit of a stumble by Romeo Lavia just as he was about to pass the ball back to Robert Sanchez under pressure from Ruter, and they just about get away with that. Chelsea, Lavia, Fofana, and then back in field again. 1-0 to Brighton on TalkSport, but it should be much more. Across by Chalobah. Chalobah's given the ball away straight down the middle of the pitch into Vifa. I think he was expecting a different movement from Caicedo and from Fernandez. Didn't happen that way, and they've gifted possession back to Brighton. Brighton firmly in control of this match. Brighton 1, Chelsea 0 on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it.
Yeah, amongst some of the problems that Chelsea have got to solve, they've got to solve this situation of Vifa having no one to mark and keep making surging runs internally into Chelsea's box, because sooner or later it will pay off and he'll get a goal from it.
Delap penalised again for a bit of afters over on the far side. After the ball had gone, he nudged Boscagli in the ribs, and a free kick for Brighton is given. So it's back to Pascal Gross, deep inside the Brighton half. Sent down towards the right, looking for Jorginho Ruter. Accelerates, but Chalobah is going to cut across his body, so we can go off to half-time at Southampton for TalkSport's Ian Abrahams.
Southampton 1, Bristol City 1. Bristol City ahead through Ryan Manning's unfortunate own goal inside 5 minutes. Kyle Larin, though, equalised from close range towards the end of the half. Saints 1, Bristol City 1.
And half-time at Leicester, Jeff Peters.
Hull lead Leicester 1-0, a result that'll mean relegation for the Foxes. Liam Miller scored on 18, gifted the chance by a woeful kick-out by Begovic. Big night for them in the race for the playoffs. Dak has missed an open goal for Leicester, who trail Hull 1-0. It's live on TalkSport 2.
Stays like that, they'll be relegated tonight. We'll keep you in touch with all the games in the Championship. Any changes, we will let you know. Chelsea just had a goal kick away to our right. They had 2 or 3 passes, and within seconds it was back with Brighton.
Well, what they're trying to do is play to Gusto, who's literally near the corner flag. He gets the ball. He's only got a straight pass up the wing to Neto, and Brighton have read it. The press is that good. They're getting there before the ball arrives at Neto, and it starts their attacks for them.
Again, Minte shuts down Caicedo. The ball comes out towards the near touchline. It goes out for a throw into Brighton. I don't think it was a throw into Brighton, but they're not going to turn down the opportunity to progress further down that right side. And Ruter, being harassed by a combination of Harto and Chalobah, puts the ball out of play, and it goes out for a throw in, and Brighton have it again. Vifa, near touchline, halfway inside Chelsea's half of the field, goes centrally to Van Hecke, who floats the ball elegantly out towards Mitoma, who chests it down, juggles with it, faces up Malagusto, who scurries towards him but can't get near him. There's too much space for Kadioglu. They forgot that he was there. The ball came infield towards Pascali, and then he turns it all the way back to Verbruggen. They're just keeping the ball here. They're absolutely bossing the game, Brighton. They have done since the minute the whistle went down in front of us. The only disappointment for Fabian Hürzeler is the fact that Brighton only lead by a goal to nil. Chelsea started with a back 5 tonight. Looks like a back 6 at the moment as Brighton come forward with Gross down this right-hand side. Moves infield, gives it to Van Hecke. Van Hecke with Hinshelwood in front of him. Decides to play it to Vifa instead. Now Hinshelwood goes down the right, but Harto intervenes. It breaks down, and immediately, as Fernandes tries to escape, across goes Gross. Kadioglu cuts out the pass, and Brighton have it back again. Mitoma far side, just overruns it on that occasion, but they're quicker to everything. They really are. It's Brighton 1, Chelsea 0, and for the latest odds you can go to Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Brighton to win at 11-4 on, back Chelsea to win at 15-2. The draw is available at 17-5. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes, 18+, BigGambleAware.org. Let's head off to Stoke City, where it's also half-time. For TalkSport's Adam Bridge.
Stoke 0, Millwall 1. Negley's second goal of the week separates the sides, currently putting Millwall second in the Championship table. They should be further ahead. Coburn missing a sitter from 8 yards out. Half-time, Stoke 0, Millwall 1.
Oxford United must find a way past Wrexham to keep their slim survival hopes alive. How are they getting on in the first half? Lawrence Mora.
Oxford 0, Wrexham 1. Josh Windus, who else at the moment for the Red Dragons, with the goal on 40 minutes. It's now 5 goals in 6 games for Windus. Wrexham's first shot on target as well. The home side can feel that relegation trapdoor opening at the break. Oxford 0, Wrexham 1.
West Brom looking to distance themselves from the drop zone in front of TalkSport's Mikey Burrows.
West Brom 2, Watford 0, a result which should be safety, though there is the looming prospect of a points deduction over their finances for West Brom. In front after 21 minutes, Isaac Price sweeping home a nice move from the right-hand side. And again, the second goal, a couple of minutes before half-time, came from the right, a free kick in towards the near post. And American striker Daryl Dike's waited all season to score. He's now got 2 in 2. West Brom 2, Watford 0.
At the top of the table, Coventry already celebrating their return to the Premier League. Dave Rowe.
Coventry 1, Portsmouth 0. That will give Coventry the title. Hadji Wright with the goal from a Jack Rodoni corner, and close to a second when Bobby Thomas hit the crossbar from another Rodoni corner. Pompey have had rare chances. Chaplin firing straight at Rushworth, but as things stand, they will be safe tonight as well. Coventry 1, Portsmouth 0.
This is TalkSport. Kukurea has just fallen over on the near side. That certainly entertained the home supporters, didn't it?
Honestly, it's like pantomime season in this stadium at the moment.
Ruter nips ahead of Chalobah, moves down towards the Brighton left. He's 5 yards from the edge of the area, cuts back in, feeds Vifa. There's space on the right for Minte. He flicks the ball instead into the 6-yard box, and that was too close to Robert Sanchez, who immediately dispatches upfield and kicks for touch down in the far corner and completely misses Neto, who was the only man in the
in the postcode of the Brighton half. I mean, are Chelsea actually playing in this game?
Well, it has been an incredible performance by Brighton, but it's helped. You just look on this axis in front of us, and you see 4 Brighton players to 3 Chelsea's. They're getting outnumbered.
Oh, lovely from Minte into Van Hecke, and the central defender comes forward, but he can't find the pass to put Chelsea to bed. But they're having the time of their life here, Brighton. They're popping the ball around with ease. They're breaking forward at will. Van Hecke's steaming up from centre-back. They're only playing 2 of them, but he feels it's so easy for them at the back. He can just stroll forward and join the attack at will.
This is unbelievable. Honestly, if this was boxing, there would be a white towel being thrown in very, very shortly. But one thing you can say, Chelsea, you're still in the game. It's only 1-0, and that's all you can say. But a change of formation must come, because this right-hand side, Vifa's surging through the centre-forward position at the moment. It's just carnage. It's carnage.
And Brighton, as I mentioned earlier, have already generated the second most XG in the opening 20 minutes of a Premier League match this season. Chelsea are fortunate it's only 1-0. Here is Gross on the edge of the area, poking it down the right. Bit of space for Minte. Sliding forward was Cucurella. Puts it out for a corner on this near touchline. It's Brighton 1, Chelsea 0. You're listening to TalkSport. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, Ali McCoist and Andy Townsend are together again on breakfast. That should be great fun. 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. They've got Rob Huth, Finn Russell and Paul Dickoff amongst the big name guests, and Adrian Durham, the biggest name of them all, on tomorrow morning as well, to look back at all the night's action.
I'm going to have to tune in if the ego has landed with the boy Durham in town.
Minte back to Gross. Gross on the right-hand side, trying to turn it round the corner. It's so easy for Brighton. Minte picks it up again as he goes past Cucurella. He takes on Harto now. He holds off Harto. Still got the ball. Harto still trying to get at him. Minte eventually gives up the ghost and gives the ball away, but very quickly Brighton have won it back again. I tell you what, Chelsea have had 3 consecutive passes in this match more than twice. I'd be astonished.
I'll tell you what, it's the best and the worst performance of 2 teams I've ever seen this season. I've got to say, and you must be the same on that, Sam.
Absolutely. I think Brighton are absolutely battering them. Title race is on, and the race for Europe is on as well, and Brighton are competing in it, no doubt about it. Ball headed away by Chalobah, out towards the near touchline. Harto, who was probably one of the best performers of the weekend, he's having a torrid time tonight. So is Chalobah, as Ruter sends the ball in towards the near post, and arriving from the back post was Matoma, looking to finish it off. He couldn't quite, and Sanchez gobbles it up just about. Neto trying to wriggle away from Kadioglu. Bit of space out wide for Gusto, and Chelsea coming forward here, and the ball put behind by Boscali. It's out for a corner. Van Hecke's not happy about something that happened over on the far side. Thinks there might have been an offside.
Yeah, Chelsea had half a chance there, managed to break out, ball into the box on that occasion, and Gusto broke out and got numbers forward, to be fair, but good recovery challenge.
This is TalkSport. Chelsea with a corner. A rare opportunity to unsettle the Brighton defence. Neto with an arcing delivery to the back post. Fofana with a header. It's flicked away by Ruter. It'll drop inside the box. It'll be picked up on the edge of the area by Chalobah, who does well to turn and fire it forward, but it's going to break for Vifa. He does brilliantly to get it out to Minte, and then looks for the return, and then hooks it back. It comes down, and then it's played forward for Ruter, who is steaming through the middle. Cucurella gets there before it reaches the Frenchman, and then it's picked up by Chalobah, who turns away once again. Brighton and Hove Albion 1, Chelsea 0. 5 minutes before half-time on TalkSport. Burnley, Manchester City tomorrow, and Bournemouth Leeds is on TalkSport too. Looking forward very much to going to that game tomorrow night. Alongside Andy Townsend, big match. Manchester City, if they win, they go top of the table. There will be another twist and turn over the weekend as well, because Manchester City in cup action and Arsenal are playing in the Premier League. Here is Romeo Lavia, never completed 90 minutes for Chelsea. Ball back towards the centre circle. Lavia again, across to Fofana. Fofana out towards the far side, and Caicedo, and now Gusto. Brighton just allowing Chelsea
Bit of possession for the first time in the game. Lavia once more now. Funnels the ball forward into Enzo Fernandez. Back to Lavia once more. Back out to the right-hand side. And everything being kept in front of Brighton. They're at an arm's length at the moment, Chelsea.
Yeah, this is probably the longest possession that they've had, certainly in Brighton's half. But obviously it is only possession. They're going nowhere with it at present.
Well, if you're wondering why this is a bit of a grudge match, it's mainly down to the talent drain from Brighton to Chelsea over the last few years. That's why you keep hearing the oohs and the ahs and the boos every time a Chelsea player with connections to Brighton gets the ball, like Cucurella, who's got it now, left-footed, in towards the near post. It was a good cross, dealt with well by Pascal Gross. Probably Chelsea's best move of the match, and it's tucked behind by Gross and out for a corner. I mean, what would be ridiculous now is after the opening 42 minutes that we've had, if Chelsea managed to fashion an equaliser.
Well, it'd be the biggest injustice that football's ever seen, I think, that certainly this season, if they did.
Here's the corner. Right-footed towards the far post. Fofana is free, dabs it back into the 6-yard box. Cleared away by Van Hecke. And now Gusto will look to get it all the way back to his goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez, who's immediately put under pressure by the twin threats of Gross and Minte. And, of course, he clears the ball out with this. So it wasn't that much pressure. Well, they're enjoying themselves, the Brighton fans. And the Chelsea fans that have made the journey, just have a look away to our right-hand side. They've started to stream out.
They have. I'm not sure they're going for an early pie or just going for the A27 now.
Well, it does get clogged up. It's difficult to get out of here, you know. I mean, it might be worth getting a head start. Chelsea need one to compete with this Brighton team, who have played very well in the game, but Chelsea have been really poor, really poor. Here is Fofana over on the far side. What is he doing? He's just run the ball out of play under no pressure. He's collapsed to the floor, and Hinchelwood's got a free throw in.
You know what I'm worrying about? Giving the boy Durham some answers to some of the questions he's going to throw at me at half time, because I can't honestly tell you the answer to some of the things I've seen tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm more worried about, having to speak to Liam Rosenior after this. I don't even think LinkedIn has got the answers for the questions we're going to have to ask him.
He might have to AI himself, to be fair.
Brighton 1, Chelsea 0. This is Talk Sport. Here.
But I tell you what, Sam, it's been an absolute pleasure watching Brighton tonight, hasn't it? I know Chelsea have added to their own woes, but Brighton have been magnificent. The movement, the rotation, players in certain positions turning up all over the pitch, been magnificent.
They often are very good to watch. When they find their groove, they're a brilliant football team, and they're a good club. And here is Gross down the left-hand side, feeding Kadioglu in towards Ruter. He doesn't get anywhere near that. The problem is Danny Welbeck can still come off the bench, you know. Ruter down the left-hand side. There's a bit of a collision. Ruter goes down. Referee gives a free kick the other way. And the ball is away to our right-hand side for a Chelsea free kick. It remains Brighton 1, Chelsea 0. If that sounds scarcely believable because of the way we're talking, that is true. It is only 1-0. It probably shouldn't be. It should be a lot worse than that. The goal coming from Kadioglu. The deflection off of Wesley Fofana actually took it away from Robert Sanchez, who I think was going to get there. But Chelsea not been getting to much in the first half.
If you want some good TV, you know, I know everyone likes watching TV these days. If you had cameras and microphones in the Chelsea's dressing room, how do you deal with this? So difficult.
Wesley Fofana's just picked up a yellow card. He had a little bit of beef, didn't he, with coming off at the weekend, Wesley Fofana. Wasn't happy about being taken off.
The only beef I would have if I was a Chelsea sub about being put on, to be honest with you, and joining that.
I mentioned Danny Welbeck was still available to come off the bench, and it is a little bit fearful if you're a Chelsea supporter, because he absolutely loves playing against Chelsea. He's got 5 goals in his last 7 Premier League games against them, and all of them have come as a substitute. Here's Sanchez with the ball at his feet. The Brighton fans revelling in trolling him every time he gets hold of it, and it's headed away by Kadioglu and out on the far side. We played our 45 minutes, and that is the end of the first half. A brilliant first half from Brighton. Who fancies a game of leapfrog? Brighton seem to.
If it stays like this, Brighton will jump above Chelsea into 6th place. And I tell you what, on the evidence of that first 45 minutes, I'll be absolutely astonished if it doesn't. Brighton absolutely battered the Blues. They lead by 1-0 at the break.
Yeah, that was domination, absolute domination. And let's focus on Brighton first of all, because they have been brilliant, absolutely superb. And Stuart mentioned Vifa, highlighting how good he's been. Van Hecker, a 1-2 that led to him having a header well saved by Robert Sanchez. He's been surging forward the centre half. Lovely touches from the likes of Pascal Gross, Jack Hinchelwood, that brilliant cross for Mitoma early on at 0-0. Mitoma himself, Rutter, Minte, always a threat, always confident on the ball. So good to watch. Kadioglu with the goal. I'm feeling a bit for Boscagli because I can't really say much other than he might look a bit awkward and uncomfortable. It's probably because he's got Liam Delap in his pocket right now. Not much to have in his pocket, to be honest with you, because Chelsea have been so bad. But let's just praise Brighton first of all, Stuart Pearce, because that has been an absolute joy to watch that first half.
I think that's the main story of the half. I really do. Let's not dwell on any negatives here. Brighton have been absolutely magnificent. The rotation of the team have been a big handful for Chelsea to deal with. They've not dealt with it. The only thing that they're short of is putting the ball in the net another 2 or 3 times, which their football deserve.
Tranmere struggling and threatened with relegation at the bottom of League 2, have equalised at Cheltenham 1-1. Nathan Smith 2 minutes after the restart. These EFL games getting second halves underway up and down the country. We'll keep you in touch with the goals as they go in. We'll take you around the grounds as well during this half-time interval. As brilliant as Brighton have been, it's only 1-0. So Fabian Hürzeler, I wouldn't be surprised if he's maybe a little bit nervous because they've been so on top. You'd be surprised if they can dominate that much again. They should be at least 2 or 3 up, shouldn't they?
Without a doubt. And if you're Chelsea now, I'm thinking you've got to change this formation. It's not working. Just in front of us, there's been 3 or 4 against 2 or 3 surging down here. We had Van Hecker setting up the attack with the players in front of him, going beyond them and ended up surging. If he had anything about him, he was running and looking round for a pass. Just put your head down and keep running. That asks questions of defenders. That's what he should have done. But the fact that he actually got there was incredible. And Chelsea, are going to change formation. You would fully expect it. They might even change personnel. There's not one Chelsea player on the pitch at the moment that could actually be aggrieved if they were taken off. That is for sure. But there's got to be wholesale changes. Brighton magnificent in their movement. They're pressing after losing the ball, retaining the ball again. Incredible.
Those stats, by the way, if you're into your stats, the XG for Chelsea's 0.04. They don't really look like scoring. They've had 1 shot, none on target, just 4 touches in the opposition box as well. And I saw towards the end of the half, Stuart, that Liam Rosenior was just watching it and shaking his head. So who are we looking at in terms of that 45 minutes? Are you looking at the players and thinking, well, they're the ones, it's their responsibility? Or is it Liam Rosenior because he sent them out there in that shape and in that formation?
Well, the shape has not helped them, that is for sure. Maybe you might turn around and say, hang on, we've had 45 minutes of the Chelsea being dominated. Should changes of the formation been made a long, long time ago? They're just fortunate that the open goal Brighton had from a goalkeeping error was missed, and they've still got a foothold in the game in some way, shape or form, but they've got to play a hell of a lot better. Change of formation. If there's not one forthcoming, the game will just follow the same format.
Yeah, Brighton have been brilliant. They should be maybe 3-4 goals up, but it's only 1-0, and that gives Chelsea a chance. So it's a big team talk at half-time from Liam Rosenior. Let's see what he's got second half coming up live on TalkSport. You're listening to Kickoff Live on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. 18+, gambleaware.org. Here on the South Coast, it's Brighton 1, Chelsea 0.
Kick-off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Incredible scenes here at the Village Hotel's Pub and Grill. Fans are taking their place in the fan zone with stadium-style seating, amazing views on huge screens, and we're underway. Lovely bit of dribbling there as she tackles the burger stack. Now they're getting down the wings. Sticky barbecue, unbelievable. Oh, and he's hit the bar. And it's there! His favourite ice-cold beer. What a result! Catch every game live in the pub and grill at Village. Get in! Find out more at villagehotels.com.
McDonald's wraps, all flavour, no mess. No drips on your drip or grease on your shirt. No crumbs on your keyboard or sauce on your dashboard. Just all the flavour of sweet chili chicken, barbecue and bacon chicken and new tikka chicken. Wrapped up neat. Served after 11 a.m. Tikka chicken wrap available until the 13th July 26. Fees apply to delivery orders, subject to availability.
The sharp end. Ooh. Crunch time.
Down to the wire.
Do or die. The season finale. Squeaky bum time. Whatever you call the business end of the season, make sure you don't miss a minute with the Sun's free pull-out goals. From the Premier League to League 2, you'll get all the expert opinion, tactical analysis and news you need. Get your free copy of Goals every Saturday, Sunday and Monday only in the Sun.
Sorry. We all fantasize about our perfect home. Watching the big game, cozied up in the snug.
Another 7-0 win!
Balmy summer nights with the kids playing on the lawn.
We're playing real-life football!
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of April 2024 and 30th of June 2024 was under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
It's another day at Screwfix, and Sir Mo Farah is still getting to grips with things.
So, Mo, with Sprint Delivery, we get the order to them in as little as 20 minutes. Oh, Mo?
Mo? Done. He was on the 18th floor.
Nice work. But, you know we use delivery riders, right?
Oh, now you tell me.
Sprint it in as little as 20 minutes. Screwfix. No stopping you. Conditions and geographical restrictions apply.
Imagine a place where you can escape for a day. Get immersed in a world of rooms, inspiration and expertise. Where you can laze in luxury accommodation. And kids can feast from 95 pence. Tickets are free to everyone and include all the attractions. You've just imagined a day out at IKEA. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
He's having a blinder. He's clipped the post. He's looking formidable. Then... substitution. His game might be over, but yours isn't. With Betfair's Safe Sub, your bet simply rolls onto the player coming on. Playing a different league with Betfair.
Valid on selected leagues and markets only. Applies to singles, multiples and bet builder bets on qualified player outcome selections. Does not apply to odds boost. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Kick off live on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Stream a massive month of sport this April on Sky Sports with a Now Month membership. 18 plus. Stream via internet. Terms apply. King of football commentary. Kick off live on TalkSport.
Right, we've got a couple of championship goals. Let's first of all go to Leicester. What's happened there? Jeff Peters.
Leicester have equalised. Leicester 1, Hull 1. It's a penalty scored by Jordan James. Makassa with a short corner into Vatawu. He was caught by Kumas, the substitute, and James has converted, and they've got a second goal. Leicester have turned it around. It's Luke Thomas, one of the local boys, who's just scored from close range. Leicester may well be going down, but they are going down fighting at last. 2 goals in quick succession. Jordan James from the spot, and now Luke Thomas. It's live on TalkSport 2. Is there going to be another miracle like 2016? It's Leicester 2, Hull 1.
Well, the year before, they had a great escape before that title, didn't they? And that was a miracle in itself. Even if they win tonight, though, Leicester, and they're 2-1 up live on TalkSport 2, they still have to win their final 2 games to stand a chance of staying up. They've got to hope for other results as well. Their final 2 games are home to Millwall and away to Blackburn. We can safely say Coventry are going to be champions. Dave Rowe.
Coventry 3, Portsmouth 0. 2 quick-fire goals early in the second half and 2 crazy goals as far as Portsmouth are concerned. The first, a disaster by Schmidt in the Pompey goal. A back pass by Regan Paul. Schmidt miscontrolled, heavy touch. Ephron Mason-Clark came in to roll the ball home, and then moments later Van Eyck went down the right-hand side, put a cross in. Paul came across to make a challenge. All he could do was do it into his own net for an own goal. Mason-Clark with the second, and Paul with the OG. Coventry are going to be champions. Coventry 3, Portsmouth 0.
And in the National League, Hartlepool have taken the lead against Southend 2-1. Alex Reid, Hartlepool won't be making the playoffs. Southend are already confirmed in the playoffs. Here at the Amex in the Premier League, live on TalkSport, Brighton are leading. Time now to get an odds update with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
So at half-time, it's Brighton 1, Chelsea 0. Brighton are 3-1 on to win. The draw is 17-5. Chelsea to come back and win a 10-1. That was a look at the latest odds with Ladbrokes. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
And we've got another championship goal. This one at Stoke. TalkSport's Adam Bridge.
Stoke 0, Millwall 2. Femi Aziz hadn't scored since February, but he's just blasted his 9th of the season from the right-hand side from distance, just at the edge of the penalty area, left-footed shot. Really, you'd have expected more from Bazunu in the Stoke goal, because he got his hands to it, but he went through and into the top corner. And yet again, like the first half, Stoke with a better team. Seko had hit the post, Manhoef had a shot that was well saved, and then up the other end, Millwall doubled our advantage and set sights on second spot and automatic promotion in the Championship. It's Stoke 0, Millwall 2.
Yeah, Millwall going second. They'll be 3 points clear of Ipswich and Southampton. Ipswich play tomorrow night at Charlton. Talking of Southampton, let's head to St Mary's. TalkSport's Ian Abrams.
Approaching the hour mark, Southampton 1, Bristol City 1, Ryan Manning's own goal, cancelled out by Carl Larin's close range effort, and Southampton manager Tom de Eckhard has seen enough of his team stuttering, although they might have a chance here. Larin's played in right hand side, across goal, and Cienza just on as a sub, slipped at the crucial moment. He's been sent on, Adrian, so has Tom Fellows. Half an hour to go, Saints 1, Bristol City 1.
And down at the bottom of the table, Portsmouth maybe 3 down, but as things stand there, safe. So are West Brom, who are leading. We'll go there shortly. What's going on at Oxford, Lawrence Mora?
It's Oxford 0, Wrexham 1, and those goals are Leicester being cheered at the Kassam because the visiting fans know that those goals have put Wrexham into the playoff places. Josh Winder's 5th goal in 6 games on 40 minutes. That's the difference between the teams this evening. The home side were gutted because they'd nullified the visitors in the first half, but relegation is looming for them. At half-time they had the Milk Cup winners from 86 on the pitch, 40 years on. How much do the fans wish they had a prime John Aldridge, Ray Houghton and Jeremy Charles right now, because they desperately need to get back into this game. Oxford 0, Wrexham 1.
Yeah, that's absolutely spot on. Wrexham, despite a couple of recent defeats, they won at the weekend, and it looks like they could be heading into the top 6, and Hull City making their way out of the top 6. West Brom are looking safer and safer. Let's head to the Hawthorns. Mikey Burrows.
To Watford 0. What a job James Morrison is doing. Still technically in interim charge. They are heading for 9 matches unbeaten. 2 goals in the first half. They are so comfortable in the opening 15 minutes of the second half. Watford staring down the barrel of 6 matches without a win, which in their world probably puts some pressure on manager Ed Still. It's West Brom 2, Watford 0. We've played 58 minutes.
It is the usual end-of-season nothingness from Watford that usually leads to a new manager. You're right. St Johnstone could secure promotion back to the Scottish Premiership this evening. They're 1-0 up. They've just gone 1 up away to Scottish Cup finalist Dunfermline. Rhys McAleer with the goal that could take St Johnstone up as champions tonight. Elsewhere in the Championship, Norwich leading Derby 1-0. Mo Toure, the Aussie international, has got the goal. He arrived in the window, and as of half-time, he had scored a goal every 50 minutes as a Norwich player. 9 goals in 447 minutes of football. An extraordinary record. Got a hat-trick at the weekend. So that's the latest scoreline in that one. Norwich 1, Derby 0, QPR 0, Swansea 1. Elsewhere in League 1, Bradford 0, Plymouth 1. Plymouth looking to get into the playoff places. Doncaster 0, Lincoln 1. Rob Street has missed a pen, but Lincoln will be crowned champions if it stays like that. Rotherham 0, Luton 2. Casey Palmer with both. Stevenage in the final playoff place at the start of the evening, going to stay there. They lead Barnsley 1-0, and Stockport goalless with Mansfield. League 2, Cambridge in the automatics at the start of the evening. one apiece with Grimsby, who need a win to get into the playoff places above Chesterfield, and Cheltenham 1, Tranmere 1. As many points as possible needed for Tranmere to stave off the threat of relegation. National League Hartlepool 2, Southend 1, and in the Scottish Championship, as you just heard, Dunfermline 0, St Johnstone 1. Chelsea players are back out there for the second half, a little bit early. Maybe they've had a little bit of a dressing down from their manager. The stats not good. It looks like Alejandro Garnacho could be coming on Stuart Pearce, which is interesting because he came on at the weekend and wasn't particularly good.
Well, he'll fit in really well with this performance then if he plays the same way as he did at the weekend. But it looks as though they're going to flatten out to a back four. They need to do something about Vifa, the right back, who keeps surging on. So having Garnacho to deal with, hopefully that'll pin him back slightly from Chelsea's point of view.
Brighton leads 1-0, but they should be leading by a lot more. Let's get a goal at Stoke Adam Bridge.
Stoke 1, Millwall 2. Lamine Cissé has been on the pitch for 30 seconds. His first touch of the game, wide on the left-hand side, hits a shot goalward to the keeper's hands into the back of the net. Stoke back in it. Game on here. Stoke 1, Millwall 2.
Big night in the EFL, huge night in the Championship. We're going to keep you in touch with the goals as they go into the second half. Remember, those games kicked off 15 minutes before this one here at the Amex. It's been all Brighton so far. So Chelsea, Rosenior, what do you got in the second half? Brighton 1, Chelsea 0, second half live and exclusive and free and only on TalkSport with the former England captain Stuart Pearce alongside Sam Matface.
Well, Stuart Pearce was pretty adamant that Chelsea had to find a way to nullify Mats Vifa. Fabian Hertzler has done it for him. He's come off at half-time to be replaced by Joel Veltman. Alejandro Garnacho is on. Wes Fofana is off. And Chelsea have gone to a back four. So changes afoot for both. We'll get into them in just a second. The two teams underway at the start of the second half, with Chelsea attacking the goal away to our left. Chelsea do now have a left winger, but Brighton start with Verbruggen in goal, Veltman at right back, Dunk, Van Hecker and Kadioglu the back four, Gross and Belieber in the middle of the park with Minte, Hinchelwood and Matoma behind Ruter in attack. Chelsea have the ball in black, attacking the goal away to our right. They have Sanchez in goal, Gusto, Chalabar, Hato and Cucurella the back four, Lavia and Caicedo holding, Garnacho, Fernandez and Neto behind Delap in attack. Garnacho's playing on the left-hand side. We've got a goal down at Southampton. TalkSport's Ian Abrahams.
Southampton 1, Bristol City 2. Bristol City back in front. Corner headed in by Sam Bell. Saints have got to try and do this all over again now. Southampton 1, Bristol City 2.
Garnacho down the left-hand side, speeds into the box, gets the better of Veltman, gets the ball onto his right foot, comes into the area, travels a long way with it, tucks it back towards Caicedo. It's hit by Lavia over the top of the crossbar, and it's out for a goal kick away to our right. Norwich 1, Derby 1, but a more threatening start from Chelsea.
Yeah, decent effort there by Lavia. He's just taken it, he's moved it to his right and he's just hit it. It dipped, but to be fair, the goalkeeper, no pressure really, and just going back to Vifa coming off, obviously it must be an injury. I thought he was playing magnificently well, and that will help Chelsea. That's probably the best substitution that was made at half-time for them.
Yep, Garnacho on for Wes Fofana, which is quite fascinating because there was a little bit of a fallout, wasn't there, with Maresca, with Fofana, and there was a little bit of a reaction when he was substituted at the weekend to Liam Rosenior, and he's been dragged off at half-time in this game. Goal at Leicester, Jeff Peters.
It's Leicester 2, Hull 2. The visitors back on level terms. Ollie McBurney's 15th league goal of the season. An excellent finish from him after Leicester had turned it around just after half-time. It's live on TalkSport 2. It's Leicester 2, Hull 2.
Well, Leicester 2, Hull 2. At the bottom of the table, Leicester know that they need to get a victory tonight to stay in the division this evening. Although the way things are going for Hull City, they need to make sure that they get 3 points as they look to try and get into the top 6 tonight. At the moment, Wrexham are leapfrogging them on goal difference as it stands. So Wrexham, with 2 games remaining, will be in the top 6. They've still got to play Coventry away from home and Middlesbrough at home. Wrexham, big game against Coventry upcoming. Brighton 1, Chelsea 0 on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly, like Brighton versus Chelsea live right now. Search Now Sports, and remember
We've got the sports bar open for business from 10 o'clock tonight with all your reactions. Garnacho runs down the right to try and stop the advance from Pascal Gross, and knocks him to the floor, or Veltman, sorry, and it's a free kick 10 yards back from the edge of the area. The Brighton fans in fine voice tonight. They're certainly enjoying themselves every time Chelsea have a mishap. Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, when you were giving the scores updates, I just fill everyone in. Goalkeeper chipped another one out of play. His count is rising as we speak, isn't it?
Yes. I mean, if he was playing golf tonight, he'd have had to have dropped a few shots, wouldn't he?
He's been out of bounds on a few occasions.
He certainly have. Stockport trying to get into the playoffs, trailing against Mansfield. Oh, that delivery was pretty poor from Pascal Gross. He got right underneath that, and it went right over the top of the Chelsea crossbar and out for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. It's still just 1-0 to Brighton, and Chelsea, if they're going to score, they're going to have to do it the hard way. Brighton have conceded just 18 second-half goals all season. Only Arsenal have conceded fewer. Cheltenham 1, Tranmere 2, and Tranmere pulling away from the bottom with that victory that would be absolutely crucial for them. Ball won by Baliba. Minte was the man who tried to nick the ball off Lavia. Free kick given, and Chelsea have it deep inside their own half. Baliba immediately rattles into Fernandes, putting pressure. They trigger. The trigger for the press is immediate. As soon as an extra Chelsea player takes an extra touch in the Chelsea colours, they are on them like a rash, Brighton. They don't give them a minute's peace, and they're constantly nicking the ball, stopping them from gaining any sort of momentum. There was 2 balls on the pitch there. Chelsea have got to take the throw again. Eventually Cucurella gets it back to Fernandes. Garnacho is ahead of him. It's poked through to him, but he falls over as he tries to keep hold of it. Baliba plays it infield, and now Ruter back to Boscagli, who plays it forward to Mitoma. Good sharp passing from Brighton. It gets them up to the halfway line in Kadioglu. Infield it goes to Pascal Gross, and Brighton keep possession well. We've played 5 minutes of the second half. It's still 1-0. Easy pass from Boscagli into Van Hecker. Back to Boscagli, who spots the space on the far side. Veltman comes forward. He's got Minte outside him. Instead he goes infield. It's collected now by Van Hecker, and then on to Kadioglu. Out further wide is Mitoma, who gets to the edge of the area, pulls it back to Kadioglu, who's in the inside left channel. He pulls it back to Pascal Gross. They keep hold of the ball so well and recycle it. It's angled into Minte, away by Cucurella, flicked by Garnacho, and then Harto will send it clear. And he does so out to Pedro Neto, who might just get hold of this here. Pedro Neto brings it down and races towards the right angle of the penalty area. Tries to come in on his left foot, but then sees that traffic is amassing in front of him. So he's shepherded all the way back into midfield. And Caicedo has to play it across to Lavia. A little flick by Enzo Fernandez. Cucurella tried to latch onto that but couldn't. And Van Hecker will clear from the right full-back position. Won by Harto. Chelsea have it back with Lavia just left of the centre circle. Now Caicedo looks up, slides it back, collected by Chalobah, and Brighton lead by a 1-0. 6 minutes gone in the second half, and Brighton in front.
Chelsea are looking much better with this formation, I've got to say. I mean, I know Brighton have probably taken their foot off the gas slightly the second half, but Chelsea do look a little bit more stable with this formation.
Yeah, and maybe Brighton just thinking to themselves they will give us a chance at some point in the game. Here is Garnacho over on the left-hand side as Norwich go 2-1 up against Derby in the Championship. Garnacho cuts in from the left-hand side. There's live action on TalkSport 2. Leicester at the moment back at 2-2 with Hull as Garnacho gets the ball into the inside left channel. They've been pegged back, Leicester, by Hull after leading in that game. Fernandes in towards the near post, straight into the gloves of the goalkeeper of Bruggen, and he will take it to the edge of the 18-yard box with Brighton leading by 1-0. So Leicester going down at the moment. Wrexham moving into the playoff places. Coventry winning the title and Lincoln doing the same in League One. That's where we are on TalkSport tonight. Oxford also struggling, and Stoke, what's happening there, because Millwall are trying to get promoted. They're going up into second as it stands. Unless there's a change, here's TalkSport's Adam Bridge.
No, they've cemented that, Sam. Stoke 1, Millwall 3. Coburn from close range. Terrible error at the back from the ever-reliable Ashley Phillips, of course, on loan here at Stoke. Gave the ball away. Coburn slotted home from about 8 yards out beyond the keeper. Surely that's game over. Stoke 1, Millwall 3.
He's been really good, hasn't he, Josh Coburn, this season? Big, tall, powerful striker. Here's Matoma down the left, flipping the ball into Kadioglu. Stretch almost, kept hold of it. Oh, it's come back to Gross, edge of the area. Makes room for the shot, instead gets it to Matoma. Drags it through the 6-yard area at an angle. And it goes wide of the left-hand upright and out for a goal kick away to our left. Good chance.
Yeah, it certainly was. Good play. Once again given away by Casado. I'm not sure. Normally when Chelsea don't play particularly well, you can always sort of semi-rely on Casado to set a tempo in the middle of the park, but even today's not been a day for him.
Goal at West Brom, Mikey Burrows.
West Brom 3, Watford 0. West Brom heading towards survival, at least for the time being, with that potential points deduction pending. It's a cross in from the right hand side. Isaac Price heads it back into the danger zone. Josh Madger has a swing, miskicks it, but on loan Crystal Palace defender Danny Imre's there to tap it home. West Brom 3, Watford 0.
Big shout for a penalty here. Kukurea seemed to have his hands out. The Brighton fans were on him in a rash. Well, it certainly hit the top of his arm, but I think it was above the T-shirt line. Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, I think you're right, just above the T-shirt line, but it was nowhere near the chest where he was pointing to, that is for sure.
It was definitely on his arm, but I don't think it's handball because it was a little bit too high. Chelsea, remember, haven't scored now in over 7 hours of football, which is quite something. And they've only got 35 minutes or so to rectify that. Historically, it would be a hugely bad record. Go blank here, and it's 5 league games without a goal for the first time since the days of the Titanic, 1912. The Champions League dream's already sunk. What about the European one? Here on the left-hand side is Garnacho from Fernandez's ball, cut away by Minte, who turns and fires the ball to halfway, up by Hinshelwood in towards Ruter, who's won the ball cleanly. He's got Hinshelwood to his left, free in space after Caicedo crumpled. It's Hinshelwood to finish it. Yes, he does. Sweeps the ball home. And Chelsea, disillusioned and fractured, are crumbling on the south coast. Brighton get their second deserved lead. A second goal of the night for the Seagulls, who are soaring right now. Chelsea complain.
They want a handball on the edge of the box, which it did bounce up. The referee said no, but it's led to the goal. So you tell me, Sam.
Well, it looked a little bit far back, maybe. Chelsea complaining about that. The referee will consider it with the VAR. But Brighton are celebrating what they think should be a second goal. It certainly hit the underarm of Minte, but I don't think you can give that a handball at close quarters like that. And it happened so far away from the final event, Stuart. I think the goal will stand.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't be chalking it off. Admittedly, his clearance, albeit it wasn't a pass, it was almost like a hoofed clearance, went up the pitch and the goal led from it, but I'm not sure you could be taking it back and chalking that off. Certainly if you consider it, accidental.
That was a good finish from Jack Hinshelwood, wasn't it? The way he swept that to the goalkeeper's right to make it 2-0 to Brighton, and it's nothing more than they deserve at this moment in time. Another goal down at Southampton, is it, for Ian Abrahams?
Southampton 2, Bristol City 2. Tom Fellows cross from the right hand side, headed in by the Loch Ness Drogba. Ross Stewart. It's Saints 2, Bristol City 2.
He only turns up in the big games, does the Loch Ness Drogba. He's on the march, and Southampton 76 points, will be 3 points behind Millwall going into the final 2 games of the season. Millwall at the moment are going to be second at the end of the night. There's been another goal at Coventry. Dave Rowe.
Coventry 3, Portsmouth 1. Pompey on the board for Adrian Segicic. Lovely finish after a bad mistake by Jack Rodoni, giving the ball away 30 yards out. Segicic ran onto it and struck home left-footed. Coventry 3, Portsmouth 1.
Just going back to that goal from Chelsea, why were they 2-on-2 on the halfway line when that ball broke?
Well, listen, if they're chasing the game, they need a goal, so I can quite understand why they're off 2-on-2, but you've got to deal with it. They were out-muscled on it and, well, as I say, just pulled apart, really. You should be able to deal with that 2-on-2 as defenders on a ball that's not precisionally played forward. It was just hoofed up the pitch, wasn't it?
Big game in League One in terms of the playoff places. Bradford and Plymouth. Tom Cleverley's done actually a really good job down at Plymouth. 1-1 the score now in League One. Here is Belieber trying to canter down that right hand side as Lincoln take a 2-goal lead against Doncaster. They're going to win the title tonight. Back to Van Hecker, then all the way back to goalkeeper Verbruggen away to our right. We're hitting the hour mark. It's Brighton 2, Chelsea 0, and they've got a very good defensive record recently, Brighton. They've kept the back door shut recently. They've only conceded 5 goals in their last 7 Premier League matches. And here is Ruter, who steers the ball away from Caicedo, who dives in, wins the ball. Referee not yielding to the catcalls of the Brighton supporters. They were asking for a foul. It didn't come their way. But Gusto, under pressure from Hinchelwood, has to turn and fire it back from the right fullback position into the centre of the D, where Sanchez was waiting. Hinchelwood and Gusto then come face to face. Gusto getting himself into a spot of bother. And Craig Pawson is called into action. Currently Brighton 2, Chelsea 0. For the latest odds, you can head to Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Brighton to win at 20-1 on. You can back Chelsea to win at 33-1 on, or back the draw at 11-1. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes. 18 plus. Gambleaware.org. I think they're singing "He's Gonna Cry in a Minute."
Not heard that for a long time.
Brighton 2, Chelsea 0. This is Talk Sport, and we're high up, really high up at the back of the Amex Stadium tonight. Historically, we've always been down by the touchline, but they recently moved us up to the posh seats. Here is Neto down the right-hand side, getting to the byline. They always take care of us here at Brighton, and they're taking care of business tonight. Mitoma picking the ball up and travelling at speed down the left-hand side. He moves up to the halfway line, and then Gusto comes across, and it's cleared away. It's a big night in the EFL tonight. It's a big night in the hunt for European places. Remember, if they win this tonight, Brighton will go above Chelsea into 6th position at the top of the table in the Championship. Coventry about to celebrate a title as well as the return to the Premier League. Millwall cementing a place in 2nd. Southampton chasing them. They're coming back into their game down at St Mary's. Wrexham up into the playoff places as it stands at the moment, and Leicester going down to League One. Oxford not going well for them, but West Brom looking to distance themselves from the drop zone. That's how it's standing at this moment in time. We'll keep you in touch with everything that's happening in the EFL Championship tonight here on Talk Sport. Boscagli into Van Hecker, back to Verbruggen, and all of a sudden it feels like we're heading back into the first half, where Chelsea could hardly get a touch of the football. Hinchelwood brings the ball out of the sky, nudges it into the path of Minte. He runs at Harto, gets to the edge of the area, it overtakes him on the outside, plays it against the Dutchman, wins the corner.
Well, to be fair, Chelsea probably had their best period of the whole game, and I've set the bar pretty low there in the start of this second half. And on the back of that, Brighton score. It's unbelievable. With all the superiority Brighton had in the first half, they couldn't get the second.
Well, I suppose, as you suggested, because Chelsea were going for it, they leave gaps at the back, and Brighton have ruthlessly exposed those, although Chalobah was far too easily brushed off the ball in the build-up to the goal. And Chelsea now facing another defeat. Ball in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, comes out as far as Mitoma, juggles with it, gets it onto the volley, right-footed shot towards the far corner, and it's swirling away from goal rather than to it, and it goes well wide in the end from the Japanese international.
Yeah, super play there by Mitoma. There's Neto. Neto's run out to shut him down and turned his back on the ball.
Well, he's done nothing.
No, and Mitoma, brilliant. It's a shame that didn't nestle in the back of the net for the talent in the build-up.
Yeah, I mean, he flicked that away from Neto as if Neto was just a wasp to be swatted aside. He had no impact whatsoever on Mitoma's attempt to control the football. And Chelsea have been very poor in the last 2 games. This game in particular has been awful, really, from a performance standpoint. And that's got to really worry Liam Messina, because when I spoke to him on Saturday night, he was saying to me, yeah, the result is really bad, actually, because we have had great opportunities. We've created lots of shots. We've hit the woodwork. He said 5 times. It was actually only 3. And he was happy, I think, that the performance level was good. He said we can't lose sight of the fact the performance level was good, even if we haven't scored. Tonight, it's very difficult to take a positive for him.
Yeah, I mean, the only positive they've got is Palmer and João Pedro are out. Probably their two most talented players, potentially.
I mean, Leeds, let's be honest, they'll be licking their lips when they face Chelsea on Sunday at Wembley, won't they? They don't go to Wembley very often. They'll fancy a game against a rival. There's a big rivalry between Chelsea and Leeds because of the late 60s and early 70s. And the Leeds fans really embraced that. You have to be of a certain vintage as a Chelsea fan, I think, to understand that. But the Leeds fans still very much feel it. Goal at Coventry. Talk Sports, Dave Rowe.
Coventry 4, Portsmouth 1. Efron Mason-Clark, his second goal of the game, really well created, set the move up himself, played in Victor Torp. Torp drove it forward, back to Mason-Clark in the area, one touch, right foot, back of the net. Coventry 4, Portsmouth 1.
Back here, it's Brighton 2, Chelsea 0 on a chilly night on the Sussex Downs. Chelsea struggling really to find any rhythm once again. Cucurella getting ruthlessly mocked every time he gives away the ball. Chalobah the same. Down in front of us, Sanchez and Caicedo being picked on. There's lots of ex-Brighton staff as well that is still involved at Chelsea. Paul Winstanley is the sporting director. They said they're going to review Liam Rossignor's position at the end of the season, but this is going to be 6 defeats in 7 games for Chelsea. Maybe 7 defeats in 8 in all competitions. The only team they've beaten since the beginning of March has been Port Vale. Here's Garnacho. Edge of the area is Fernandez, challenged by Baliba, who hasn't been starting recently but has been very effective tonight. Ball runs loose for him, and then Hinshelwood takes over. Minte, Hinshelwood, flick into Ruter. Oh, it's sublime from Brighton. That's not great from Ruter, but don't worry, there's someone backing him up. And it comes through from Kadioglu to Mitoma, and Kadioglu's on the escape. He gets into the air, shapes the ball to the far post, saved by Sanchez down low to his left. A brilliant outstretched left hand. He pushes it wide, and there's no one there to follow up, and Chelsea just about clear.
Great play there. Kadioglu drove through. He just opened the goal up, and he's hit it well enough, no doubt about that. But I've got to say, Sanchez, good save.
Wow. 7 defeats in 8 Chelsea are facing here. They haven't failed to score in 5 consecutive league games and lost them all since 1912, the year of the Titanic, Stuart's first electrician's job.
And that went down.
Here is Joel Veltman, who came on as a half-time substitute. QPR 0, Swansea 2. Baliba back towards the edge of the centre circle, and then wide on to Kanioglu. Kanioglu funnels the pass out to the left. They've done brilliantly, I think. He's just moved the ball very quickly, one-touch football, and that's just outfoxed Chelsea, who just haven't got their positions right. Kanioglu from distance, right-footed shot towards the near post, pushed away by Sanchez.
I've got to say, you spoke earlier about this run of form Chelsea are on and lack of goals and everything. The biggest worry will be the performance. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. You can throw all the other results away. They haven't played as bad as this, that is for sure, and they've been woeful today.
And that's why I brought up the idea of the sporting directors, and the Begdana Bali is here tonight, big admirer of Brighton, watching the way that this team is performing and asking the question, wonder whether or not the review that Liam Rossignour is expecting at the end of next season, not this season, might be brought forward if they can't get a tune out of this group. Here is Pascal Gross to take the corner. Certainly most of the problems at Chelsea are definitely not down to him. Pascal Gross to take the corner on the near side. Brighton 2, Chelsea 0. 54% possession, 12 shots so far. Ball towards the far post. Header is free by Van Hecke, who got loose at the far post, but he couldn't head it on target. It goes wide.
Yeah, unfortunate there. He climbed above Gusto and just skimmed off his head. He couldn't get good clarity on it. I think Chelsea are making a couple of changes down there, Sam.
Well, when they needed a goal at the weekend, they bought on a right back and a centre half, and that didn't go down particularly well with the group. Bernardo Cueva, who is the set piece coach, the only member of staff that's been retained from the previous regime, is giving instructions, but Brighton have won it back high up the pitch, and they're slaloming forward again. Hinshelwood with the crosses to the centre. Cucurella with a header. Some lovely touches given away by Gusto, poorly picked up by Gross. Gross down the left to Hinshelwood once more. It's sloppy from Chelsea once again.
casual. They're gifting possession away too easily. They're not closing down with any speed or intensity, and they're causing their own problems. It's too easy for Gross to get round the defender, float a ball into the box, it goes over the top and wide. But this is abysmal in terms of Chelsea's defensive commitment, Stuart.
It is. As I say, I think that second goal's really punctured them. They come out in the second half, showed a little bit more, better shape and whatever. But my goodness, they look a defeated side at present.
Cheltenham 1, Tranmere 3. And we have got a goal elsewhere, but I missed it in the Chelsea mishaps at the back. So where are we going next? Let's go off to Leicester, because Leicester could be going down tonight unless they win. Jeff Peters.
Yeah, it's 2-2 against Hull. Dacker's hit the woodwork. Ramsey on a sub has missed 2 chances. Dacker's just rounded the keeper and been brought down outside the area. It's a yellow card. Leicester are clinging on to their championship status. 5 to go. Leicester 2, Hull 2.
Here is Delap trying to get beyond the defensive rock that's been Buscaglia tonight. You know, Chelsea still haven't had a shot on target in the game. We've played 68 minutes. Here is Fernandes forward to Caicedo. Caicedo to the left and Harto, and then further infield where it's found its way to Romeo Lavia. Maybe he might pick up his first 90 minutes in Chelsea colours tonight. He's been there since 2023. Here is Fernandes on to Gusto's, escaped past Kadioglu, squares the ball back to Garnacho. Good challenge that by the retreating Joel Veltman, who got in front of Garnacho, wanted it more than him, and managed to stop Garnacho from getting a shot away.
I've got to say, Veltman's done brilliantly there. Probably the first time they've got him behind this defence of Brighton, and Veltman was very quick at getting across.
Ball in towards the near post, flicked away by Matoma. Comes back out to the right side. The diminutive Neto picks it up now. Caicedo floats to the far post. Easy catch for Verbruggen. And Verbruggen runs to the edge of his area. There's lots of space in front of him. And he decides to kick it long instead and test Caicedo with Ruter. Caicedo heads it down to Gross, who picks up the second ball. Comes back out to the left, and now Matoma, who's got green grass to run into, and he does that. He moves into the centre of the field, and no one's closing them down once again. The ball goes out wide to Minte. He's crossed to the far post. Ruter's coming, but here's Gross. He rifles it goalwards. It's blocked by Malagusto and breaks to the edge of the area. Neto, flyweight, nudged off the ball by Kadioglu. Out to the left again, and Ruter. Chelsea really struggling. The confidence has been sapped from their veins. It's back with Kadioglu again, and now Van Hecke, who runs forward and nudges it off to the right. Veltman onto Minte. They go down the outside now, looking to beat Cucurella is Minte. Back to Veltman once more. Absolutely miles off it, Chelsea tonight, and Brighton seriously on top. 2-0 the score. Excellent performance by the Seagulls, who are eyeing up a place in Europe. They'll be up to 6th position in the table tonight with a victory here over Chelsea. And what a victory it will be. And what a position in the table to occupy for Brighton.
Oh, incredible. They've been on a brilliant run just recently. This performance has been absolutely magnificent. They've given their fans a real treat tonight, I think, and us as well.
It's just a shame that it's not a complete sellout from the Brighton perspective. On the far side, there's quite a lot of empty seats tonight. But it is Brighton 2, Chelsea 0. The latest odds available at Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Brighton to win at 20-1 on, back Chelsea to win at 33-1, or back the draw at 11-1. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes. 18+, BigGambleAware.org. This is Talk Sport. Back heel from Buscaglia, almost made its way to Matoma, cut out. Chelsea about to make 2 substitutions. I think that's Isugo's coming on, and Mark Guiu to replace Liam Delap. One young forward for another. And Isugo comes on, and who is he going to replace? It must be Lavia, surely. Well, Isugo's gone onto the pitch far too quickly, too eager. Yes, Lavia is coming off. So 2 changes for Chelsea, but it is like for like, Stuart.
Yeah, it is. It's no changes there, and to be honest with you, I don't know whether there's a viewpoint for the weekend now or what. I really don't know, but at the moment I don't see these changes offering an uplift in any way, shape or form.
When you are a manager and you have found yourself in that sort of situation where, let's be honest, whatever you do now, you're probably not going to drag Chelsea out of the fire here. They're going to lose the game. And whatever you seem to touch at the moment seems to be going wrong.
what does it feel like? What decisions do you make? How do you get yourself out of it?
Well, put it this way, sometimes in certain games you think no matter what I do from the bench ain't going to help, so maybe just looking after the odd player for the next game, or alternatively making a substitution which is a statement, maybe. It puts a statement down to the group that says, hey, this ain't good enough.
Was that the Wes Fofana one at half-time?
Might well have been on the run of what's gone on the last week or so. They're every chance. But they've got is what is turning into an enormous game on Sunday, which we're fortunate enough to be at and covering. It'll be incredible.
Well, it might be their only route to Europe.
Exactly that. The way they're dropping at the moment, they won't be in any European place if they play like this.
Brighton 2, Chelsea 0 on TalkSport. And after we're done here, remember Jamie O'Hara is alongside Jason Cundy, and he'll be absolutely delighted because O'Hara's been getting battered recently by Cundy, and he's going to be returning the favour, I would have thought, tonight. And you'll have your chance to have your Sound National Radio 03717 223344. Ball is with Buscagli, and then it's all the way back via Van Hecker to Verbruggen. We're in the 73rd minute of the game. With the ball split forward by Verbruggen, up high into the air. It's aimed towards Veltman, who's getting up there to support, and then Ruter can't take it in. Ruter actually hasn't had a great game tonight, but he hasn't had to have had a great game tonight. Lots of space for Garnacho over on the far side, but the reason for that was because he ran into an offside position. The flag is up, and Brighton have a free kick. Be interesting to see whether or not they risk Danny Welbeck this evening, because they don't have to, do they?
No need whatsoever. If you think he needs a run out, by all means put him on, but as you say, from the game's point of view and the results point of view, no need.
Well, it's quite fascinating really that Brighton can rest their captain and rest Danny Welbeck and still manage to come away with an easy victory here tonight, and it has been an easy victory, so much so that Chelsea fans are giving up and going home. Ball sent long down the right hand side for Minte. It's too far for him. Swansea take a lead against Queen's Park Rangers. They lead by 2-1. Let's go to Leicester because they're on the verge of relegation. Jeff Peters.
Yeah, second minute of stoppage time. It's 2-2 here with Hull. Hull need the points ready for their playoff push. Leicester will go down if they don't win this, as the ball is swung in. Leicester have actually had a go tonight. We've not seen that in recent weeks. 5 minutes remaining. It's 2-2.
Remember, they have to win in order to stay in the division. Wrexham will be in that final playoff place though, because Hull are dropping points at Leicester. They'll both have 70, but the better goal difference belongs to Wrexham, who play Coventry next. Middlesbrough, Southampton and Ipswich are going to be in the playoff places, but Ipswich have 2 games in hand over Millwall, who are in second place with their victory tonight, and Coventry have won the title. Congratulations to Lincoln, who are going to do the same. Ball goes back to Sanchez here, with Chelsea trailing by 2-0 and heading for their worst run of form since 1912. The ball is on the left though, with Garnacho getting to the edge of the area, trying to flip the ball towards the far post, and he misses the target, and it goes out for a goal kick. He was running in from the angle on the left hand side. He got it onto his right foot, tried to curl it into the corner. He didn't get enough on it to bring it back inside the post, and it just flicked the outside of the paintwork. Maybe it was a little bit wider than that, and goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah, probably the best opportunity there. Garnacho cutting in, just opened the goal up, but not enough curl on the ball to bring it inside the post.
Change for the home team, and on comes Maxime de Kuyper, and he is going to replace Yankuba Minte for the final 14 minutes of the game. Good performance by Minte. Good performance from Brighton all round. It's going to be very difficult, I think, to highlight one player in particular who's played superbly.
I've got one for you, but at this moment in time I'm going to keep my mouth shut. But
yes, keep your powder dry, because Adrian will get very annoyed if you ruin his feature. Goal at Coventry, Dave Rowe.
Coventry 5, Portsmouth 1. Kane Kessler-Hayden striking over from the edge of the area. Rodoni's ball in from the left-hand side. Kessler-Hayden right-footed, buried it. Coventry 5, Portsmouth 1.
Back here it's Brighton 2, Chelsea 0 on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it, book now at enterprise.co.uk. I think the most damning thing about this performance, Stuart, is that Chelsea, apart from a brief flurry just after half-time when the manager clearly had made a change, changes to the system, changes to everything, they just haven't had any
any look about them that they're going to compete in this game. And it's just been summed up by Garnacho. Garnacho, who had a poor performance on Saturday evening, has just received the ball over on the far side. He's got a load of space, there's no one around him, the ball drops at his feet and it literally just flicks out away because he miscontrols it and goes out of play and away for a throw. I think they've been absolutely terrible tonight, Chelsea.
Yeah, it's the worst team performance I've seen this season by any team, to be quite honest with you. And I've not seen that from Chelsea. I've covered them. We were there at the weekend. They've lost games, but that they played well enough in the games. And but today certainly not been their day.
That ball is moving up towards the centre circle. It's picked up by Esugo, sent wide towards the left. Chelsea have lacked any goal-scoring threat whatsoever tonight. Still haven't managed a shot on target in the game, and we're approaching the 79th minute of the match. Full time at Stoke. TalkSport's Adam Bridge.
Stoke 1, Millwall 3, a record-breaking away win. They're 11th in the second tier, 40 points on the road in any division. Take Millwall second. Negley, Aziz and Coburn with the goals. A consolation own goal from Taylor for sorry Stoke, booed off at the end. The Lions roar on, up to second. Stoke 1, Millwall 3.
Chelsea have got mitigating circumstances for the fact they haven't scored many goals recently. No João Pedro, no Esteval, both injured. Reece James has been out, Colwell's been out, Gittins been on the sidelines for ages. Here's Esugo into the penalty area, thwarted by Ruter. Ball given out towards the near touchline. Mitoma can't get there. Chalobah is there. He's only just come back from injury. But that doesn't excuse this performance. It doesn't excuse the lack of fight, the lack of hunger, the lack of desire to close down, the ability to retain possession, simply the wrong decisions being made, the change of formation. It's all conspired against Chelsea tonight, but a lot of it is of their own making. They have a squad that looks a little bit imbalanced. Ball in by Neto towards the far post. It'll drop from Mark Guiu, whose effort is blocked by Van Hecker, and it goes out for a corner on this near side. Cambridge have conceded a goal against Grimsby. Now this is bad news for Cambridge because they want to be in the top three and get promoted. Grimsby trying to get into the playoffs. Now they'll still be there just about with 78 points, but it's going to be dicey now towards the end of the season. But it's great news for Grimsby, who move into the playoff places. Corner comes in for Chelsea on this near side, the right. They toss it in from Neto. It's easily cleared. Back in from Neto again. Another poor delivery, cleared away.
Yeah, I've got to say, the two corners that have been put into the box, Matomo's headed both of them at the near post. Now, one or two, he's very good at certain things, Matomo, but I would say heading's not his forte.
And he's not the tallest fella in the world, is he? Let's be honest. Well, the Brighton fans have absolutely loved tonight. They've revelled in it. They've bathed in the glow of their team's performance and the inadequacies of Chelsea. And they continue to do that right towards the end of the game. Chelsea trying to find a way to just give their team something to shout about, but they've got nothing to shout about, and nor have Leicester City. Jeff Peters.
It's finished 2-2, not enough for Leicester, who are relegated for the second successive season. Miller and McBurney scored for playoff chasing Hull. James and Thomas for Leicester, who are heading down to Division 3 a decade after being Premier League champions. 2-2.
10 years ago, Leicester City were the champions of England. 10 years ago, they were the toast of the entire world. They pulled off a shock which no one believed they were capable of. 5,000 to 1 was the odds. Today, just a decade later, they have slipped away into the third tier of English football. It's a dark day for Leicester, and there is a long way to come back. You just hope that their supporters regroup, their board regroup, their team regroups, and they can come up with something to add a little bit of joy to that community. On come Ayari and Welbeck for the last few moments. I mentioned this earlier. What's the real problem for Chelsea is that Welbeck has scored 5 goals in his last 7 games against Chelsea, and all of them have come off the bench. Full time at Southampton. TalkSport's Ian Abrahams.
Southampton 2, Bristol City 2. Bristol twice led through a Ryan Manning own goal and a Sam Bell header. 2 equalisers, first Kyle Larin and Ross Stewart, but Southampton couldn't find a winner, which really sets them back in their efforts to get second. Southampton 2, Bristol City 2.
Ruter was removed for Welbeck as they come forward on this left-hand side with Maxime de Copa. He gets the ball back infield towards Ferdi Kadioglu. And Kadioglu back to Boskagli. Boskagli infield to Van Hecker. It comes out to Maxime de Kuiper. And then the challenge comes in from Pedro Neto in the right fullback position. The Chelsea ownership watching all this very closely, missing out in the Champions League. Will be the third time in 4 seasons that they've failed to qualify since the Clear Lake Capital takeover. That's not great. That's not great at all. Remember when they bought the club, Chelsea had recently been European champions. Ball upfield towards the middle of the Chelsea half, away by Gusto, but before it can run through to Enzo Fernandez, Baleba snaffles up the ball, wins it back, and Brighton look to build again. They look commanding, they look in control here. The defensive record has been good. The second half defensive record superb this season, and that was a foul in the middle of the park, but Chelsea have got away with it because Brighton has still got the ball. Welbeck comes forward, nudges it out to the left. De Kuiper with a cross, and Kukurea misses his header, and then it comes off Oyari, who's just come off the bench and goes behind and away for a goal kick. And that is a very serious error from Kukurea, who saw the ball repel behind and go out for a goal kick away to our left. It's finished. Lincoln 2, Doncaster 0 at the Keepmoat, and Lincoln, as a result, are champions of League One. They win the title. What's happened at Oxford? Let's get there now and find out the full-time result from TalkSport's Lawrence Mara.
It finished Oxford 0, Wrexham 1. Josh Windass goal, sending the Red Dragons into the playoffs and pushing Oxford to the verge of relegation. Windass's 5th goal in 6 games, 5 minutes before the break, beautifully taken from the edge of the area. Oxford went long in the second half, launching the ball at Lancashire, but in truth this game was low on quality and low on goal scoring chances. Wrexham up to 6th, Oxford 5 points from safety with 2 games to play. Oxford 0, Wrexham 1.
Brighton popping it around inside the Chelsea half once again here, and it's picked up by Hinshelwood, who feeds the ball into Veltman. Veltman far side the Brighton right, tries to get away from Jarell Harto. Brighton at the moment proving that incredible scouting, a great algorithm and decent coaching outweighs spend. Here is Baleba down this left hand side. Chelsea spent 1.5 billion quid on this squad. It looks entirely disjointed, slipping further and further and further away from the European places. And I tell you what, they've played so badly tonight, it's very difficult to fathom how on earth they're going to get past Leeds United. If Robert Sanchez kicks the ball out again tonight, one more time, he should be hooked, shouldn't he?
I would like to know how many times he's put the ball out of play. He must be 4, 5, 6. I've just lost count, you know. And in fact, the comedy value for the Brighton fans, the last time he kicked a goal kick was just about 2 minutes ago. He kicked it into the centre circle and the fans all cheered.
I don't know how many times. I think it's about 7 or 8 times he's kicked the ball straight into touch. Chelsea have gone home, by the way. The Chelsea supporters have gone. They've deserted their team. They're off. And that's not the first time that's happened. It happened against Manchester City the other week when we were at Stamford Bridge. They'd had enough. They're just not competitive. This is a team that used to compete for top titles, European trophies. This team doesn't look like it could win a game, let alone a trophy at the moment. They're not going to qualify for the Champions League, that is for sure. Their only win in the last 9 games is going to be that 4-1 win against Aston Villa on March the 4th. It all looks so different then. But now, right now, it looks a mess. Full-time at West Brom, Mikey Burrows.
West Brom 3, Watford 0. Albion safe as it stands, but for a potential points deduction, they're 9 unbeaten. Watford are 6 without a win. They need the season to end.
Commentary of champions, Dave Rowe.
Coventry champions in style with a goal rush that really has been the story of their season. Hadji right with the opener in the first half. Portsmouth with some big mistakes early in the second. Mason Clark and a Poole own goal made it 3. Sekitic got one back, but 2 further Coventry goals from Mason Clark and Kessler Hayden. They are partying on the pitch, but good news too for Pompey, because the defeat for Oxford means they are safe. Good job done by John Massinho. Fantastic job done by Frank Lampard. Coventry are champions. Coventry 5, Portsmouth 1.
When you look back at this game here today, I mean, look, Frank Lampard has done a brilliant job there at Coventry, and you've got to give him great praise. When you look back at this game here today, though, what are you saying about Liam Massinho?
What's happened here? Is it his fault? Does he have to take a share of the blame? Has he caused some problems at Chelsea? Or is he just the victim of circumstance given to him by what has been so far a very disappointing era in terms of ownership for Chelsea Football Club?
Yeah, I'm not sure you can lower the blame at his doorstep, that is for sure. You know, the buck always stops with a manager. We know that because we see how many managers get sacked eventually. So, but certainly this runs deeper than that, I'm sure.
Well, certainly Chelsea haven't been very good at all tonight, and that is a massive problem. I'm just looking to see, they still haven't managed a shot on target. Is that a shot on target? Does that count?
I don't think it's classed as a shot on target, but the goalkeeper runs out to catch it.
Oh dear,
I don't want to be pinicky and picky, but...
Here is Kadioglu into Welbeck. Kadioglu trying to win it again. They're just so much sharper and faster to the ball, so much more determined to win the ball than Chelsea tonight. And that's a triumph for Fabian Hürzeler, who has had a bit of a tough time at points over the course of the season, but not tonight. He's having an easy night of it. He's just sitting there in the dugout, watching on, enjoying his team's performance. It's been, I mean, they could have got the cigars out a long time ago, really. Chelsea win it back in midfield with Fernandes. I wonder what he's thinking now. What has his agent said? Not good news if they don't make the Champions League. Possibly signalling that he might be available for transfer. Interesting.
Well, I think sometimes a little bit of loyalty and a little bit of self-reflection needs to come into the reckoning.
Mark Guiu goes for a run down the left-hand side. The ball is sent long, searching for him, but he ran offside. Free kick is given to Brighton. It's not really fair that they're asking him really to lead the line. Mark Guiu, he's not of an age where he should be leading the line for Chelsea. Delap has been up there again tonight, disappointed. So 2 on Saturday night. João Pedro still out with an injury. That's a problem for Chelsea because he's been a rich source of goals, 19 in all competitions, and there are mitigating circumstances because Palmer is out as well and the captain's out, Reece James. But the manner of this performance, I don't think I'm wrong in saying that they've looked like that they are devoid of confidence and unable to play at the level we know they're capable of. And Chalobah has just missed an opportunity, and Welbeck is there to finish it, and he does. For the 6th time in 8 games against Chelsea, Danny Welbeck, who's enjoying a renaissance, a celebrated, experienced player amidst this emerging Brighton group of talent, comes to the fore once again, punishes Chelsea, who have been a shambles tonight. They have been exposed time and time again. The only disappointment that Brighton will have is that along with their 3 points, they've only got 3 goals. Chelsea have been blown away on the south coast. It's Brighton 3, Chelsea 0.
Well, no more than Brighton deserve. A wonderful goal there. Great team goal. They wanted it more. They competed more for the ball. Chelsea players jumping under the ball. Recovery runs too slow. And it's that man Welbeck. He's had a brilliant season. Absolutely delighted for him, to be fair. And just guided it into the far corner. And 3-0, probably a fair result now. We've stumbled across a fair result on the run of play, Sam.
14th goal of the season. He is the man of the moment down at Brighton. He's one of the highest scoring Englishmen in the league this season. He's done such a good job. And Chelsea take off Malagusto and bring on Achimpong for the final few seconds of this game. We're in stoppage time. Chelsea need to be put out of their misery, really. Danny Welbeck has completed what has been a brilliant and blatantly much better performance by Brighton than the team that have visited them from West London, who have been insipid and toothless and haven't even managed a shot on target in the game. Chelsea are going to lose 5 Premier League games in a row without scoring for the first time since 1912. And it's been as poor a performance as you have ever seen. And they're all guilty, every single one of them have really let the side down tonight. But Brighton have to be praised for their positivity, their front foot approach right from the very beginning, their high pressing, which has been sensational and almost just yielded another opportunity there. And although their finishing hasn't been perfect, they've still fashioned enough chances tonight. They've had 15 shots, 9 on target, to score 3 goals, Stuart.
Yeah, they've been absolutely wonderful, Brighton. They really have. To a man, they've been brilliant. In and out of possession of the ball, mainly in possession, has really caught our eye. They wanted it more than Chelsea. They're in a position, they had an opportunity to go above Chelsea, so it's an important game for them. And Chelsea haven't seen the importance of that.
Yeah. Work rate is free. You can spend all the money you want on high quality potential players that have done it at World Cups and Euros, but the truth is, unless you dig in and graft, you're not going to get anything in the Premier League. It's a hard league to win football matches in. It's certainly a hard league for Chelsea to win football matches in right now. 7 defeats in 8. And they're trailing here by 3-0 going into the final few seconds, and it might get even worse here because they're popping the ball around at speed, and Welbeck is threatening to escape, and he got a little bit lucky that there might have been a foul in the build-up to that move from Ayari on Cucurella, and that just halted the surge towards the box. It's been a big night in the EFL. We'll round it all up for you in just a second. There's a geezer wearing his sombrero with a seagull attached to the top and a glitter ball jacket, celebrating down on the touchline, screaming up to the heavens, delight. Brighton are going to get all 3 points. The Chelsea fans have vacated the building. They know that the game was up long before that final strike from Welbeck. They're just playing the ball around in the middle of the park because we are seconds away from an almighty roar. Here is Gross into Baleba, who's played brilliantly tonight. Just evades Guiu and then plays the ball back to Buscagli. He gives the ball away to Cucurella. Garnacho comes forward, but Van Hecker will get it back to the goalkeeper, and Verbruggen will clear upfield. There's the full-time whistle. Move over, Chelsea. Brighton are playing leapfrog tonight. The Seagulls soar into 6. A monumental victory for Fabian Hürzeler's men. They have completely dismantled their big spending rivals and knocked them off their perch. Chelsea suffer an historic 5th consecutive Premier League defeat without scoring. The first time that's happened since the Titanic set sail. It's 7 defeats in 8, and the only team they've beaten in 90 minutes since March the 4th are about to get relegated from League One. No João Pedro, no Palmer, no Esteval, no hope, no goals, no wins. Chelsea have got a real problem. The European dream is very much alive in Brighton tonight. For Chelsea, the end of the season is becoming a nightmare. Brighton 3, Chelsea 0.
Well, there's a big banner in the Chelsea end saying blue go out. They're blaming the owners. The players have gone over and they're standing there staring at the fans, those Chelsea players. And it's almost like the Chelsea players are in disbelief. It's almost like they're at one with the Chelsea fans. Liam Rosenior walked onto the pitch, went over to the fans. He's now walking back towards the tunnel, and he had the look of a man who was resigned, basically. And you wonder if he is going to be around even for the Cup semi-final at the weekend against Leeds United. These Chelsea players look absolutely shell-shocked, standing there, motionless, on the pitch in front of their fans. Meantime, listen to the Brighton party. And absolutely fantastic. They were superb. Listen, let me give you the headlines from the night. Coventry have won the title in the Championship. Millwall, 3 points clear in second place now. Wrexham back into the playoff places after their win. At the bottom, Portsmouth are now safe, even though they got battered. And so are West Bromwich Albion, although there might be a points deduction for them. But the big story, Leicester relegated to League One. Back-to-back relegations for the Foxes. 5 years after winning the FA Cup and 10 years after winning the Premier League title. Oxford, hot favourites to join Leicester as well after they were beaten. And in League One, Lincoln, already promoted, secure the title, and they'll be in the Championship next season. But what about Chelsea? 5 defeats in a row, not scored in any of them. 2 months ago, they were 4 points clear in 5th. They might not even qualify for Europe. And in the Champions League, even under Rosenior, humiliated 8-2 on aggregate. And yes, it's PSG, and there's no shame in losing to them, but 8-2 is not acceptable. And then you bring in this Premier League form as well, and that's not acceptable. And it wasn't this bad under Maresca. Let's face facts. You can have a look at the ownership of Chelsea all you like, and they're not run right. Everybody can see that. They're clearly not run right. Something has to change, and even they've admitted that, the owners. But this wasn't as bad as this under Enzo Maresca. And now under Liam Rosenior, is there any hope that it's going to get any better? I'm looking at it thinking Liam Rosenior is an experiment that hasn't worked for Chelsea. Tonight he changed shape, made them worse, changed it again at half-time, didn't get any better. He's taken them out of the Champions League places. They can't win, they can't score, and maybe, just maybe, and I hope I'm not being too harsh here, it's probably best all round if Chelsea let Rosenior go. They'd be doing him a favour. Maybe time to end his misery, time to end the fans' misery, time to change direction in terms of the manager. Ownership isn't going to go anywhere. The manager might just have to. And yeah, you're going to look at the players, but they're on those big contracts. None of them are going anywhere unless they want to.